Hang tight, everybody. We're dialing it in here. I know a lot of people were asking where the hell and what's going on. We're going to get to it. Don't worry. Unfortunately, I was helping my neighbor. I had heard about this some hours ago. I guess I could say about 12 hours ago. And I got wind of it, and I've stayed kind of radio silent on it for a reason, because I'm never going to jump right into something right away and start talking about it, because I think the fog of war is an important thing, and I want to collect as much information as I possibly can so we don't get it wrong. And there's already people who are completely wrong. Yeah, everybody knows I'm coming on. I must have had 100 messages, people just asking, hey, are you coming on? What's going on? What are you doing? And you guys know what I'm doing. I'm collecting information. Because this is a situation where if I can try to find a way to provide a little hope, I'm going to do that. And if I'm going to, be in a situation where it's going to be despair, I want to do that effectively. I don't want to raise alarms and make things more stressful than they have to be for anybody. So hopefully you guys can hear me 5x5. We're going to go live here. We're getting everybody on. So this is kind of the pre-show. Spreely just joined us. So Spreely, thanks for joining us. Facebook, folks, get out and like, share. This will probably grow fairly large very quick. Most people know this is my bread and butter. It's not just owning liberals. This is what I do. This is what I care about, and this is what I'm really good at. So without tooting my own horn, share it out, get it out, like it. All you gotta don't like it inside. That doesn't do anything. Go outside and hit like. That's gonna trigger the algorithm, and we will get this going here. I am gonna treat it like a live show, just because it is a live show, so we're gonna treat it like one. So I'm gonna go through the intro. It'll take a couple minutes, and we'll get you going. There's a lot. There's a lot to this, and I'm going to give you some analysis that that's going to be different than everyone else. So it's going to be contradictory. I think I'm going to explain what Iran's doing so people understand. It's one of my theaters. It was one of my areas of responsibility. I understand them fairly well, and I think it would be a good idea to give you that perspective, and that's what we're going to do. Holy crap, do I not have any more music from my boys? Oh, yeah, I'm on the other show. Well, we'll just do Devil again for another 48 seconds. It's such a good song. Who cares? I've got everything pulled up. I've got a lot of information. Metric shit ton. I can even tell you where the drones are at right now. And I can give you guys an ETA on strike. There's a lot going on. So bear with me. You guys know my tools that I have, and you know the things that I use. And oh yeah, they're not even going to get into Israeli airspace. You heard it here first, here, folks. They're not even going to get into Israel airspace. Watch. They may let one in. We'll do it in 2 minutes. Let's get the beginning of the show going. I'm just going to give you the quick Spreely intro, and then we'll do the regular. Here it is.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more f***ed up than the lies on the evening news? Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party.
Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. It's Saturday. God, really? They did this shit to me in the military. I'd be coming home on leave, and Saddam Hussein would decide to put a couple scuds up the ass of Israel and Kuwait, and then we would have to get back on a freaking plane. And I remember I was meeting my girlfriend, not the girlfriend. She was actually kind of cheating on her. I don't know if she married him. Oh, well, Stephanie Stevenson, I did it. I outed you. You broke my heart, so you deserve it. And I was coming home, and I was in Japan, and it must have been, a flight was like 19 hours because we had a delay in Hawaii. And I finally pull into Colorado, and there's my dad, and, I get off, and I'm in my flight jacket, and God, that's when we could actually carry firearms on the plane because we were doing attaché work all the time, and you could get through security with a badge. And we must have been halfway home. We had just dropped Stephanie off. And, of course, I was in love with the chick. And just dropped her off. And then I got a flash, yes, on a beeper. And we were ready to go up 285, the mountain in Colorado. And my dad's like, what's going on? And I said, can you take a left on C470? And he's like, yeah, why? And I said, can we make a stop in Colorado Springs? And my dad knew what I did in the military, but he didn't know everything I did in the military. And like most people. And my dad's like, sure. And he dropped me off. And I was dropped off at the Air Force Academy. Outside the Air Force Academy was where pickup was. And then I was on a bus to NORAD. And right after that, I was shipped back out to Japan. I met up with my ship, which was in Guam. And as we steamed towards the Indian Ocean, steamed is the operative word. I mean, it's an LCC and not a carrier. Carrier group had already matriculated, and LCCs and TEL ships kind of stay behind. Even though they're still protected by the fleet, they usually bring up the rear of the fleet because their defense systems are fairly nominal. Sea Whiz and things to that effect, 50 cals, but that's about it. But anyway, that's not the first time that I've been doing something I've been enjoying, and then I get called to do something else. And now it's a different world, and it's a different life, and it's a life of talking to y'all. But I was still enjoying my weekend, helping my neighbor with a freeze pump, I think is what it's called. I don't know. And we were bringing out the stethoscope and listening for a leak in the pressure line, which was flooding the top. It doesn't matter. He's a Special Forces friend of mine, and he's Green Beret and Army, Vietnam veteran, bodyguard, and many other things. Just one of the coolest guys you've ever met. I've tried to get him on the show. He will not come on. Older than dirt, and he hates that shit. Every time I make fun of him and say he's old, he gets mad at me. But anyway, he's a good friend, and he's a father figure, and he's an amazing human being and someone I idolize. And we were on his property. He lives right across from me. And I just said, dude, if you ever sell this place, Olivia and I are going to buy it because it's 3 acres of just gorgeous Virginia. They even have a slave kitchen underneath, which is just, it baffles you just to remember that this entire place a couple hundred years ago was full of Civil War battles and slaves and just American history. It's incredible. And we're looking underneath there, and I'm just like, oh my God, it's unbelievable. It looks like exactly like an old Civil War postmodernistic kitchen with a fireplace hearth to cook over and cobblestone inside the basement, and it's incredible. But anyway, I love Mike. He's my hero, and he gets pissed when I say he's old. Anyway, let's get to it. First things first is I don't like burying the lead. Burying the lead bothers me. So what a lot of people do is they'll try to say, hey, I've got a bunch of stuff to show you, and hang tight and don't leave. If you want to leave, leave. If you don't like my presentation style, I'm not a clown. Although I get funny and I do voices and stuff, when I get like this, I get very dry, I get very serious. I just give you the information. So I don't want to bury the lead. Everyone needs to relax. Calm your tits on this drone thing. Just relax, okay? This is not World War III, okay? This is a very calculated and desperate response by Iran. And I know Iran very well. I have written strike packages on Iran that are still in place with scores of intelligence officials and and officers from all walks of life, from Office of Naval Intelligence to DIS to ISs to CIA. I can go on and on and on. And Marines, IS, intelligence specialists, Army, OIC. We can just understand that Iran is a country that I understand very well. And although I have not been engaged with it in 20 years, I've stayed abreast of it and I stay on top of it because you never frickin' know, right? And it's something that I take a great interest in. So if you have any questions, can't listen to the BS from 30 years ago. Well, James, I don't really care what you can and can't listen to. This isn't an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Whether I was in intelligence 30 years ago, I promise you, if you spend 10 minutes listening to me, you're going to know that the information I'm going to give you is not 30 years old. So, all I can tell you, man, is it's not an airport. So go. Nobody gives a shit. Not one person. Okay. If you want to learn something, you can sit here. Otherwise, go fuck yourself. All right. So now that we've established that, how was that for 30 years? Was that good enough? Was that a fresh scoring that makes you feel appreciated? I hope so. Matt, I'm a dumbass and spell your last name wrong, but it's sent. Oh, well, don't worry about it. Thank you, Thomas. Last name is, Speer. I'm not the one you throw. I'm the one that Speer Boulevard in Denver and then Albert Speer, which you don't look that up. You don't want to know who that guy was. He wasn't a good man. Here's what we've got. As of right now, you've got an estimated between 12 and 100 drones. And I will tell you it's not 12. And I can tell you most assuredly that it's not 12 drones. And the reason why is 12 drones is completely a waste of time, resources, and money. That's not going to overwhelm Iranians' air defense systems. It's certainly not going to overwhelm Iron Dome, David Sling, the Patriot system, and the Arrow system, which are the four major, and a couple that you don't know about, which I've covered, which I'll show you a video analysis on the integrated air defense systems of Israel, which I'm going to show you here in a few minutes, just so we can catch you up. In fact, let's do that now, okay? It's a good video. It'll help you understand what's going on. It's 12 minutes of your time that will break down exactly what these systems can and can't do. So when they say Iron Dome, people aren't like, is this a dome that comes out of the ground, or is it some sort of EMP, or is it some sort of radar deflection material? Is it Jewish space lasers? All this other crap. There are Jewish space lasers, by the way. Marjorie Taylor Greene said so. So let's watch this together. This will open up a very large understanding of what we're talking about, and then we can dive into the rest of it in the more real-time stuff, okay? We're a little bit away from those drones even reaching Israel and reaching Israeli airspace. I don't even think they're going to reach it, to be honest with you. I know Jordan is already engaged. I know Israeli fighters are already engaged, and anything that's remaining, the Iron Dome should pick up. These drones will more than likely come from the north and the south. They're not going to come through the center because that is where predominantly most of the Iron Dome heaviest defenses are, protecting, obviously, Tel Aviv and the Syrian border, where a lot of IRGC attacks come from rocket launch, and the north by Hezbollah. But the south is going to be the hardest to penetrate, being that the entire southern portion of Israel is covered with Iron Dome and integrated air defense systems. And the closest point of entry would be the north. However, that is where I would believe Jordan and Israeli intercept aircraft are already there, intercepting most of these. But let's watch this so we understand. We've got some time. Here we go. How many are decoys? That's a great question. We'll talk about that. This whole thing's a decoy. I'm going to get to it, but there's a lot. I can't do this in 2 minutes. It's impossible. So those people are like, dude, it's taking too long. Just tell us. You know what? This show isn't for you. Go to Benny. Benny will lie to you right now. Benny's lying already. Benny right now is lying as we speak, because that's what Benny does. Because Benny doesn't know shit. I don't care how many flags and rifles the guy has on his wall. He's a poser. He doesn't know anything. He knows nothing. And I'll prove it to you. Just give me a couple minutes. Let's go. Let's get this show on the road. What's going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? What the heck is the Iron Dome? What is the Iron Beam? 2 integrated air defense systems enter. Yeah, I lost a little weight. Only one can leave. I guess I was getting a little fluffy back then, you know? I mean, it was COVID, and yeah, I'm a little poofy. All right, good to know. Post-apocalyptic Mad Max references. Is it apropos? We'll find out. Listen, I'm going to break it down for you. If you think it's a giant dome that was built very similar to the one in Vegas, the Sphere, hang tight. I've got your back. I will be right back. Not sure what to do. I don't know if I checked my fund of money. 2 questions. I've already done a show. We're going to go into it tonight. I know a lot of people have questions. I've already done a show on do weapons when it came to Maui. But the Iron Dome, a lot of people have questions. They don't quite understand what the Iron Dome is. They know that the United States is giving a crap ton of money to Israel, but they're really not sure what it's for. So I'm going to explain it to you. I'm going to break it down for you, but I'm also going to talk about the Iron Beam, which a lot of people have no idea what that is. And no, that's not some sort of structure. That's a singular beam going across Israel. We'll cover that too. But first, let me tell you what's fake. There's a couple videos going around on Twitter and also pretty much all over social media, which are absolutely bunk. I'll show it to you right now. Now, this is the first one, and you look at this, and you're seeing some rockets fire off, and then immediately once they leave, you're seeing these pulses very quick. Well, this is actually a video game. This isn't how do weapons work. In fact, they don't work this quickly or effectively, and you wouldn't be hearing the concussions there if you listen to the small explosions. They're not lining up. Here's the next one. There it is. Now, this one's a lot more convincing. Now, this looks like a Pink Floyd laser light show. But the thing about direct energy weapons is that they don't necessarily work that fast. They take some time to go ahead and melt down their target or get them hot enough so they explode. So when people show these things, of course, they don't understand this. I'll explain it in the video shortly after. But let's talk about the actual Iron Dome. And I don't want to get the two confused. The Iron Dome has been in place for quite a while. Richard Engel did a great video, which I'll show you in a second. But he talks about the Iron Dome's effectiveness. Since the attack started last week, over 4,500 rockets have left here where there's a dome over the black, 80 to 100. And walk through a few of the photographs you may have seen. The one on the bottom left here where there's a dome over the black and white, I think sometimes that's what people actually think it is that Israel is this, and Palestine and Jerusalem are all these tiny little specks of land, and they are relatively small, Israel being roughly the size of New Jersey and Gaza being Rhode Island or even a little bit smaller than that. But the point being is that you can't physically put a dome over. This isn't Spaceballs where somebody comes in and has to have the magic password, especially if they're from Druidia. But the photos that are real are on the top right here, where you'll see an exposure opened up on a camera, and you see. I want to be clear. Fox is producing a lot of information right now, and it's in what I call edible garbage. If ballistic missiles were being used, they would have arrived. Ballistic missiles don't move at the speed of these drones. I want us to understand that. There are several payloads that they can deliver in Iran, and none of them take that long. I want to get through this, but damn it, I don't know if I'm going to have enough time. Let me just get you to the breakdown of the Iron Dome and how it works, and I'll stop the videos. And this will be much more informative, so we have a place to start in their trajectory. So the question is, everyone's talking about this Iron Dome upgrade. Okay, first thing, is it real? Yes. The Iron Beam is most assuredly real. Has it been deployed? Yes. IDF is saying that it has been deployed at a very small scale because its effectiveness and its efficacy is not necessarily the strongest. I have a video that I'm going to break down for you, and I will walk through. It's a couple minutes, and it will really explain what the Iron Dome is and give you all, or excuse me, the Iron Beam is, and give you all the facts on it. Here it is. This laser weapon can strike targets such as drones, rockets, and mortars, and can do so for a fraction of the price of other missile-powered defense systems. The Iron Beam is an experimental project built by Israel. It could be used in conjunction with the Iron Dome, which launches rockets, and is considered one of the most advanced air defense systems in the world. Israel says the Iron Beam could enhance protection against threats from Iran's allies in Lebanon and Gaza. The Iron Beam is composed of a laser gun located on a swiveling unit. a surveillance system that tracks incoming threats, and a command center where operators give directions. Israeli officials say that the laser gun fires a beam that uses 100 kilowatts of power. That's around 100 times the typical electrical power that a 1.21 gigawatts household in the U.S. uses. Here's what it looks like in action. The footage from the Israeli defense minister shows the laser striking down a rocket. Israel's goal is to integrate this weapon into its arsenal and also save some money. That's according to military analysts who say the laser would allow the country's army to reduce its reliance on the more expensive Iron Dome. One interceptor missile fired from the Iron Dome can cost $50,000 or more. In contrast, Israel's departing Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said the Iron Beam could be the same thing for as little as $2. The issue is that the system sensors can be hampered in rainy and cloudy conditions. That means the Iron Beam may not be operational in Israel in colder months, such as November and December. If the weather prevents it from working, Israel's defense ministry says the Iron Dome could kick in. Another vulnerability is said to be its range the beam loses. Power travels through the air, making its... I just want to make sure I clarify something. There's a bunch of questions. I'm going to get to them, but there's some that are absolutely just critical I want to get to right now. Bob Doorband, I think it's Dorban, but whatever. We have Iron Dome here. Yes, we do. A lot of people don't know that, Bob. So, I mean, it is unclassed, and I'm sure you're not going to go into specific geolocations and things like that and what areas are being protected by Iron Dome. But yeah, Iron Dome is in the United States. It has been implemented in the United States for some time. And where, when, how, I won't be going into. But I will just tell you that Iron Dome most assuredly is in the United States at this time. Impact on the target less powerful. It's known as the bloom effect. But if the laser starts blooming and widens up, the result is it becomes so diluted it doesn't have an effect. And then there's the speed at which it can take down objects. The period of dwell time before the laser damages its targets makes it slower than the Iron Dome. But every time you push the button, your beam touches the rocket at the speed of light. But then you have to keep pumping energy into the missile until it melts or explodes. That process could take a few seconds and hamper its ability to combat multiple incoming rockets at once. The more the kilowatts of power the system has, the farther the laser can strike targets. Although laser makers in the US and Israel say the range of laser weapons can vary widely, also depending on the type of target. The Iron Beam is designed to detect small targets up to 12.4 miles away. And although the Iron Beam has a ton of potential, it does not solve the problem for Israel right now, which is the capabilities of the Iron Dome being longer, more effective, and more consistent in its design. I hope that clears some things. All right, so I hope that clears some things up too. It's up giving you the nuts. Because the Iron Dome is probably one of the most effective integrated air defense systems on the planet. But let's go ahead and talk about what we know. I've got some questions. I'm gonna try to knock those out as quick as possible. Does the U.S. still have 2 carrier strike groups in the Middle East? We're gonna cover that. So hang tight, Kevin. Why were we told this was going to happen for the last couple of days? Carrie, it's a great question. I will tell you that. What's the difference between cruise and ballistic missile? Okay, that's the easiest thing I can answer, so I'll just do it right now. Let me just give you the basic physical / visual. Okay. Ballistic missile. This. Okay. Cruise missile. This. No, we'll do it over here. Okay. So cruise missile is nape of the Earth and can move in various patterns, so to speak. And the way that it strikes its target is very different from a ballistic missile. A ballistic missile usually will move in a very high and long arc, depending upon its range, whether it's an intercontinental ballistic missile or a standard ballistic missile. And I can go over the various degrees of what Iran possesses in a minute. But it usually comes up over target and then uses a certain type of target acquisition, whether it's electronic intelligence, heat signature, overall laser guided, et cetera, and to go in and hit target. And it can be preordained where that goes from a geopos type location. It can use certain signatures in frequencies and heat signatures of if it's a vessel, or if it's, well, it'd be very rare that you would use a ballistic missile on a vessel. But the point is, a building, a radio antenna, a depot that's giving off a certain signature, things of that effect can be used for a cruise missile. A ballistic missile. A cruise missile is a very different design. It's named for the Earth. It's designed to come in hot, not extremely fast, but use the terrain to confuse radar. And the lower a target is, or the higher a target is, the more difficult it is to spot. And a cruise missile has a very unique system of final phase, which I can't tell you what it is because it's classified, but it will, the way it strikes its target is very unique. In fact, you've never seen a missile quite like it, how it attacks a cruise missile. So I can't go into specifics, but it's got a very unique system of delivery at the very end. It's a sight to behold. But it also can get it into very narrow and difficult areas due to that system, but still maintain its integrity of not being stealth, but being difficult to see and keep track of. Because most of the time when a cruise missile is coming in, you're losing signature constantly. It is a game of cat and mouse with that thing. So the way it comes into a target is amazing, and it can deliver its payload in a very accurate way. So that's the difference between a cruise missile and a ballistic missile, minus speed, how much it can carry, what its yield is, all those other things. I wonder why Donald J. Trump has to say about his during his rally. Well, I don't know, but we're not going to cover Donald J. Trump because he's already said that this would never happen under his watch, et cetera, and it's not important to the conversation. Okay. I was asked which military vessels are currently in country, and if we're going to look, there's three major bodies of water that you would be concerned about in this area, and they are going to be connected on the west side of Lebanon and Israel, and also southern to Egypt, and you're going to want to have a military presence there, and obviously in the Black Sea and the Mediterranean. So what you've got right here is the what they say is an unknown vessel, but I believe that would be the Dwight D. Eisenhower. It's not unknown. It is the Dwight D. Eisenhower. It is a beast. Overall, right now, its position is very interesting because it is essentially, if I can get back here, you can see it's at the mouth of the entry and bordering the Atlantic. And this is where a major fleet is for the United States Navy in this area. Often visits Spain, Italy, in this entire area. And I believe that would be 5th Fleet. Carrier group CV-69, Dwight D. Eisenhower NATO warship right now. And it doesn't say what carrier group. I'm pretty sure it's 5th Fleet. So that is there. So if you want to know where the Eisenhower is, there's one aircraft carrier. Let me see what the other carrier options are for us. See what we can find. Go to warship maps. We're going to U.S. Navy warships, aircraft carriers. And let's see, Eisenhower. The Vincent would probably be that's in port. So that's a no. Teddy Roosevelt would not be. Nope, because that's going to be down in Indonesia, which makes sense because we know what that is. That's 7th Fleet. Then we've got the Abraham Lincoln, possible. Nope. She is in Port Washington. Is East Coast, sitting, Stennis. And there we go. So let's see. Where do they have her? Oh my God, the congestion is horrible. So she's in Hampton. She's on East Norfolk. So she's in dock. Yeah, she's in East Norfolk. So that's not going to work. And then the Truman is in dock. The Ronnie is where she should be. So you've got the Ronald Reagan. It's sitting above Germany and Poland, which is providing support for Ukraine right now and Russia for the Ronald Reagan. And then we've got the Bush, and she is... and on port. So you've got some of your older, you've got the Gerald Ford class out here. Live map on here is you're going to see 2 carrier groups, and that's your last. So interesting is the position here for the Ford is sitting in between right now Greece and the Lemnos Isles, and right off of directly west from Rhodes and Cyprus. So this is providing cover and also has a landmass here. And the reason why you put it behind landmass, obviously, is you can see Tomahawk launches from here to this position very, very easily. If it has to get in Tomahawk launch status and strike any of these countries in the Middle East, you put her behind an island to have a little bit more of surprise. It also covers an entire flank of this aircraft in the battle group, where it has plenty of navigation here, but also has a lot of land cover. You only have 2 entry points coming in. You can see here, I know my map is, my picture's in the way, I apologize. I'll go back to my home over here. So you've got Cyprus, and then you have Rhodes coming down. You've got 2 points of entry that this vehicle can look at, which would be from the west into the east. So it just makes it a little, it kind of puts a bottleneck in that carrier group and puts it in a state of protection from any missile strikes that could be coming from Lebanon, from Hezbollah. You also gives you the ability to ensure that there's any vehicles that are dispatched in some way, form, or another from any of these Muslim-based countries that have active groups in there, including Egypt with JIB, etc. You want to ensure that you've got as much protection as possible. You also have a few other Arleigh Burke destroyers here inside the Gulf. But right now you got 2 carrier groups that have been repositioned and moved. And then you also have a couple of Arleigh Burke and provisional fleet down here near Yemen and the Houthis, which have been there, which have been running convoy and ship protection up through the canals. So as you can see, the Suez Canal is right here, and it's running protection here. Does that make sense? So that is the Red Sea, and that is where the Houthis are in Yemen. So that's one map for you right there to kind of take a look at. Let's talk about the drones themselves. I think that's all the questions I have. Good. So let me go down to the bottom here. Yeah, the Vincent is covering for the one that came home. He says, my son's on the Reagan in May, was on the Lincoln. Outstanding. I'm pretty sure there are only 1 carrier. The other came back. Now there's 2 carriers in there right now. That's at least my understanding from everything that I have. They wouldn't only have 1 carrier in there. I'm just letting you know right now. You don't leave a standalone carrier no, not in the Med. You just don't do it. The reason why is because if you leave 1 carrier in there, it allows any other countries from the Atlantic to come through the Med, or any other type of vessel that is along the seaboard in hostile countries to single target and acquisition. And the reason why is if you have 2 carrier groups, although they can run independent missions all at once, you don't want someone running flight ops and covering the 32nd parallel, and you want another guy sweeping waters for any type of resupply or convoy. There's several missions it can run, but you would want double redundancies. In case something happens to 1 carrier, you want an immediate response to that. You would have 2 carriers backing them up. Question, Matt, Ukraine has actually already lost the war. I don't know. We're not talking about Ukraine. We're talking about Israel right now and Iran. Ukraine means nothing to me right now. Don't mean to be rude. I just don't have time. Shahid 136 Iranian munition unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV. This is what they look like. You will see pictures of these, and it's very reminiscent of a few of the Titan missiles that were used by the United States and NASA. You can see they have an extremely long body, almost a triangle, and then a large cone up the middle propulsion system. They are extremely slow moving. They are not the most aerodynamic, but they are extremely reliable based upon their overall efficiency on target. They are provided, obviously, by Iran. They're used by Russia, and Russia has used plenty. China has them in their arsenal, and Iran has been making these for quite a while. They are extremely effective in the fact that they have an effective profile to trigger the Iron Dome and Arrow systems, along with Patriot systems and David's Sling. Now, the UAE direct energy weapons aren't necessarily, excuse me, the DO weapons are not exactly highly efficient against these. Because there's really no reason to use those. Most of these things can be taken out of the air with just about anything. Their yield is they can carry a 120 kilogram, roughly, warhead, which it can do some damage in civilian targets. They are designed to distract and deflect and deliver a low yield payload. And right now we're anticipating about 100 of these things coming off. A lot of the news reports are saying there's 12 of them. The thing about them is they're extremely portable. They are not very large. If you take a look at them, they're only about 2.5 to 3.5 meters. So you'd be looking at 7 feet to 15 feet overall from tip, from forward all the way to stern of the vehicle. Wingspan about the same. So they make up a fairly small profile, but enough to entice radar systems and integrated air defense systems to trigger on them. They the maximum weight on takeoff is 200 kilograms, so you're looking at about 120 payload, and then anywhere from 65 to 75, depending upon the fuel source for these, would be your total payload. So once again, you're not going to deliver a nuke or anything with these. That's ridiculous. These are designed to wreak havoc and to cause a extremely low yield detonation. I'm blocking part of it. Oh, you guys, it's really hard. Sorry, I wasn't ready for this. Here you go. Let me move this over. Here, why don't I shrink my ass? Stick me in the corner. Here's your photo. You can see them stacked. You can actually ship these in the back of an F-150 or back of a pickup truck, which makes them very difficult to spot. It's not like they've got a drone factory. These are made and assembled all over. They're very effective. Iran's very good at piecing together things. You've seen that when they've supported proxies and have a very high quality and yield of weapon systems. But this right here is the way they're shipped. They can lay down, and you can deliver 5 to 10 of them, depending upon the width of the container, and drive these anywhere you want and launch them in a the great thing, it's desert, so you're not going to have to worry about vegetation or hills or anything like that interrupting the takeoff and patterns of these. So you can deploy them just about anywhere, which gives Iran a huge advantage with these, because they're an irritant. That's their job. Their job is to be annoying. I hope that helps with the photographs. Now you can see them since I've moved. This is what is on the way. Now, you also have the Shahed 131, which is also a little bit of a bigger profile. The warhead is a 10 to 15 kilogram warhead, which is it's quite small. And the dimensions are a little bit smaller too. So this is a more of a first design of this. And they're not as effective as the 136. And those are really what is coming towards Iran at this time, or Israel at this time. I want to get rid of some disinformation real quick. This one's important. This is drawing up a lot of crap right now. We'll see if Benny was a coward and deleted it. So we've got some information here. This was posted about 10 minutes ago. Iron Dome intercepting drone attack from Iran. That's pretty consistent. You can see we're going to get to it in the news. I'm going to see if he took it off. He did. I think he did. Let me look. Here it is. So Benny Johnson said the Israeli government's doomsday plane has taken off and is the only plane leaving Israel, potentially carrying Netanyahu and cabinet. This is very bad. Here's the aircraft. Benny put this out a little bit ago. And then he has a flight plan for this, which shows that it's a Boeing 767-338 that was taking off, leaving Tel Aviv, and then obviously heading out to the Mediterranean. First of all, if it was, it wouldn't be announced. This is not going to be on a civilian site. And so what is on a civilian site is to actually track the aircraft itself and to identify whether what he is saying is true or false. And as always, my first reaction when Benny posts anything is to immediately challenge it because it's always wrong. And I hate to say it like that, but he's always wrong in these situations. Here is the aircraft. You can see the photograph, type code 763. It's a 767-338, serial number 30186. This is the exact one in the photograph that he showed. We can see for the year 2024, April 13th. Current information ran this. It is showing no flight pattern whatsoever. It is not being tracked by any civilian site, which means that anything that he would have to be government-based, which he does not have access to, which I don't even have access to, and I've never had access to, and you are not going to see that happen. Netanyahu is in a secure environment right now. He is not flying in a 767. You are not going to know if he leaves Israel, and he is certainly not going to leave the state of Israel. It is the safest place for him right now. These drones are no threat to Tel Aviv. There is no inclination that any of these ballistic missiles are hitting or going towards Tel Aviv, and we will go ahead and do that in a second and talk about why. I just figured I would show you that that's disinformation. To say a leader of Israel is leaving and fleeing is a very large charge and something that Benny, as usual, has no idea what he's talking about. Matt, they can only fire that once. The second time, they don't get any more parts. I don't know what that means. So this is one of many videos. James says, Matt, any other countries coordinating with Iran, Syria, West Bank? Yeah, so there are. You're going to see several countries who are going to be working with Iran. You're going to see the Houthis, obviously, are going to work in conjunction. And I can show you what's going on there. Most recently, drones have been headed over Jordan. And these particular drones, they were launched from Yemen towards Israel. So what you're seeing is that coming from the areas of the Houthis, which this entire area is Houthi ran, from Taiz all the way up into the northern part to Haji and Jizan, you're seeing Houthi forces. So these drones here have come up from Yemen, which obviously are the Houthi rebels. Now, those are probably going to get intercepted by the U.S. because all the U.S. has to do is be in flight path, and you're going to see that the carrier group, frigate group is right near in between Sudan and Jeddah, and you will see more than likely those be intercepted. You've got a red alert, sirens from across. In this area, you're seeing a portable system. So missiles are being launched. They were intercepted over the Red Sea. So this is an Iron Dome southern exposure, which is there specifically for Yemen to ensure that any strikes that come up through this area, you also see there's one right here. And then this is opposite of Suez. You're seeing all these missile batteries from Israel that are intercepting all of these rockets from Yemen. So this is why I told you coming up from the south was a horrible idea for these strikes, because the south is so deeply penetrated with integrated air defense systems and redundancies. So why I told you the south, don't worry about that. And we shouldn't, number one. Second is coming up from the northern side. You'll see this is where a lot of the Israeli forces are from an air standpoint. Airstrikes on the countryside of Latakia on the Syrian coast. So if you take a look right here, and if I can zoom well, pardon me, you can see the northern part of Israel here. and this is this conglomeration of area, but they just hit in Lebanon. So Lebanon has had an airstrike. This is probably, in my estimation, if I can check the satellite. Yeah. So this is going to be an armament. This is probably where a lot of those missile batteries came from. It's on an elevated plateau, which gives it line of sight. It's better for trajectory to launch from an elevated position. It gives less response to the integrated air defense systems of Israel to recognize when it is at a higher altitude, like I said earlier. But this is Latika and Syrian coast, and it's obviously hitting military installations where they came from. You can even see that they're, from here, you can see some takeoff strips where drones and missile batteries and everything else could be. So this just got hit. And that obviously is a retaliation. That's in Lebanon, and that would more than likely be Israeli forces that hit that area. There was a couple strikes I wanted to show you when I said that these missiles were coming in, or these drones were coming in. I want you to look at all these missile batteries. These are all Iron Dome that are intercepting at this point. This is the one I found interesting right here. Watch this. So you're seeing that in this area, and if you look at this pattern, sorry, this zoom is really hard. Here we go. Perfect. This will help. So I want you to watch this. So if I go ahead and I put a marker here to here to here, and if we look where those come from at the standpoint, these are all drone patterns. And you can see, if I could get the zoom to do its job. Here, what if I just do a single click? There we go. Can I go up from here? No. Okay, so turn that off. Oh, this is much better. Okay, so from this area, you're going to see that Israel is here. You've got drone sightings here, 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 here. So this is one large nest of drones. You're seeing an air base here, and here. And this is all Jordanian forces. You have drone sighting here. So you're seeing all these drone sightings come up, and they're all coming into the north, right? Because once again, I told you, center and south is kind of pointless. So the Yemenis, the Houthis, are taking care of the south. You've seen some central penetration here coming over Iraq, but all of these intercepts are being intercepted by Jordanians and Iraqis. So you can see that all of these intercepts. You're getting Jordan civil aviation, just they're closing Jordanian airspace, as we know. And with the closure of these airspaces, this is where these systems are coming in. Here is a Iranian news agency, IRNA, quotes an informed source claiming Iran launched a first wave of ballistic missiles, which would make sense because it would be in coordinated attack with what we just saw. Iron Dome hit here, but then what's interesting is that if we jump and zoom in, you've got a secondary explosion here. So explosions in Erbil. So you have the Iron Dome engaging, and obviously it's exploding. Now, these things are going to come down and hit civilians in the area of Jordan, which is not a good thing. I mean, there's going to be blowback from this. There was a video that I saw here. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is. This is in Israel, where you guys can see air defense going right now. This was on Fox a second ago. Now, all these secondary bursts, this is Iron Dome. Iron Dome are going to be the lighter colored items. And Iron Dome is going after most of these. So you can see these explosions. These are the drones just getting lit up like Christmas trees. And Iron Dome is just obliterating them. Now, the whole reason why you would send in Iron Dome decoys is to get their integrated air defense systems lowered as fast as possible. Yeah, I know. I said that earlier. Jordan's taking these out. That I don't know if you saw me when I chuckled on the map, because all those sorties that are taking place are all Jordan. Jordan is defending Israel, which is interesting, beyond interesting. Jordan, a lot of people were saying that Jordan's shut down airspace so the U.S. couldn't go in. Jordan's shutting down their airspace too. They don't want this. Nobody wants this. And I want to go ahead and tell you, Iran doesn't want this. And this is where I want to put your eyes and ears and brain at ease as much as I can. Let's see. Colleen, what are you talking about? Move over. I don't understand. You got to be more specific. I'm trying to get you guys the best views that I can, but I can't, not unless you speak English for me. So what the hell are you talking about? Move over, Rover. I want to show you this real quick. I want to go into Fox super fast and see what they're having to say.
As unofficially, actually, we're going to go back to Trey Yingst, who's live in Tel Aviv with the latest. Things are happening moment by moment. Trey, what's happening?
Look, it's a fantastic.
Yeah, let me explain something first of all. So before we do this, let me just give you the what. Iran announced this a week ago, guys. Iran completely unzipped its drawers. Well, that's the way it is, Colleen. I got to stay in the shot, so sorry. The Iranian government is in a very precarious position. They had one of their IRGC generals killed by Israel. That is a very big deal. When Soleimani was killed by the United States, there was retaliatory hits on U.S. bases, which it only fell around the bases, and it was very intentional for Iran to keep face. But Iran warned the bases, and then Iran said, we're done. We've done what we wanted to do. We retaliated, and it's over. This is a very weak response by Iran. They gave Israel plenty of notice. They told them where they were coming. They told them when they were coming. They told them what armaments they were coming with. They allowed the drones to be seen. And they took away the element of surprise, which is really the only way that this works. Israel, the Iron Dome system can handle multiple targets coming in, but it's not an infinite system. It's not like the direct energy weapon systems, which are not even close to really a first gen or a 2.0 phase. They're more like a 0.5. They're useful, but they are not even remotely useful when you have to depend on them. So Iran warned Israel of what was coming. Yeah, this is retaliation. So, but here's the thing. It's retaliation, and Iran's taking a gamble because they don't want to get involved with the U.S. and they don't want a war with Israel. They really don't. Israel has Mossad agents in Iran that have been running special operations inside Iran, taking out top scientists, taking out military leaders. Mossad is an amazing intelligence apparatus, and especially for offense. And Iran is kind of scared of Israel when it comes to this, is that this could topple their regime, because if they retaliate in a way that kills Israeli citizens, the retaliation isn't necessarily going to be a physical strike against Tehran or any of the other 6 to 7 command and control units in Iran. It'll be against the leadership of Iran, and they will utilize those human intelligence assets to take out military leaders with intelligence. And that's what Iran knows. So Iran gave everybody plenty of notice of what was going to happen, and they launched it from their own soil. That's really weird. The first thing that blew my hair back, I was like, Iran has never launched an operation in holy country, in the state of Iran. So it was very strange for me to hear that and wonder why. So you have to ask yourself the question. One, it was in Iran, which really tells the Middle East something, that Iran is trying to save as much face as possible. And Iran is really weakened because the effect of October 7th did not have the impact that Iran thought it would. Iran thought that when October 7th happened, it would ultimately break up the peace talks between Saudi Arabia and Israel, which it ultimately did. But it would also give Muslim countries, and specifically non-jihadist and terrorist groups, unification towards Israel. What they didn't depend on is Iran misjudged the Muslim community, who has been working towards peace with Israel for some time. In fact, you'll hear a lot of Muslim nations say Israel is between Muslims and Jews. And Palestinians aren't even in the equation. I think Iran underestimated how little the fellow Muslim, 26 other Muslim countries give a shit about Palestine. They don't. They don't care anything about it. Nobody cares about Palestine. Surprisingly enough, either Hamas doesn't care about Palestine. So Iran has lost face. And it's not Japanese face where they need to commit seppuku and disembowel themselves. But when you lose face in a Muslim country, you lose face with the people. And Iran is on the precipice for revolt, like absolutely on the precipice of a coup d'etat. And Peter, are you just trying to like upset me? Is that what you're doing? Is it just an attempt to throw me off just to be a dick? Because I really don't fucking need it. So if this is just your way that you think you're bonding with me, you're not. Because this is like the third insult. So I'm fucking done with it, dude. So find another show, and if you just want someone to pay attention to you, get a fucking dog. Okay? Get a dog, bro. I'm here on my own time. I'm trying to give you the best information I can, and you're really being a petulant little fucker. Cool? Yeah, it's not funny. Not today. My daughter's at her play, and I'm here trying to give you information, and you've insulted me 3 times about my weight, now my hair. I mean, dude, just fuck, enough, bro. I don't need it. Not today, okay? Fuck's sakes. Jesus. Usually doesn't get to me, but it does today. Today it gets to me. It's bothering me. I'm here. I'm not trying to make money. You don't see the donation tags open? I'm here because people are scared. And you're distracting me so I can't try to make people feel a little bit of solace knowing that this isn't the end of the fucking world. And I'm sorry, but I wouldn't shine a laser in somebody's eye. I wouldn't throw spitwads at somebody who's trying to do something productive. You know what I mean? So there it is. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Everyone's gotten it at one point or another. Today's your day. I hope you don't decide to leave the show, but just stop, dude. Stop it. Do you think other Muslim countries will join Jordan in the stance they are taking? Yeah, I do. I mean, listen, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, it harbors terrorists, but it does have U.S. base there. They did close their airspace, and a lot of people thought it was to the United States. I think a lot of these countries are just kind of staying neutral as they can, and that's really crazy because usually the Muslim countries kind of join forces and have the same opinion, especially when it comes to the Jews. But there's not as much anti-Jew sentiment as there used to be because they've worked on it for a long time. This is where we saw the peace accords with United Arab Emirates, the Abraham Accords that Donald Trump put into place. So do I believe that a lot of Muslim countries are going to join Iran? No, but do I think they're going to stay out of it? Yeah. And if anything enters their airspace, they should shoot it down because Iran has been the bully on the block for a long time. And these countries now have the United States, Israel, and honestly, the rest of the world who is watching can see what Iran's doing right now is kind of a broadcast that I want to be very clear what the message is. The message from Iran isn't we're going to go ahead and rain holy hellfire against Israel. This is a very specific message to the Middle East. This isn't even a message to Israel. This is telling the Middle East that we're Iran and we're not weak. And now, instead of running through proxy, we're willing to launch this from our soil and we're doing it, and we're making it loud and clear that it was us. But they're almost saying at the same time, just let this happen so we can save face, and then we can kind of back off. To me, this is like a last flare effort, to say, screw you. October 7th didn't go as planned. We interrupted the peace talks. We don't want a full-scale war with Israel or the United States. So we're going to broadcast it. We're sending drones. We're going to give you plenty of notice. We're going to send them over very predictable paths. We're going to let them be seen. We're going to take major flights over populated cities with cameras, with radar systems. We aren't going to attempt to cloak them. We're not going to give them any type of protection as far as any escorts or anything else. And we're going to send them out, and then we're going to launch a couple ICBMs, and we're going to let the Iron Domes take care of it, and then we're going to call it a day. To me, it's Iran posturing, because if they wanted to truly harm Israel, they would hit Tel Aviv and they would hit Jerusalem. That would be their thing. And Peter, I'm sorry. You know what? You were fucking around, but it's not today. It's just not today, man. It's just when these things happen, like a bridge goes down or, a major military action, that's not fuck around time for me. I'm not here to be funny. I'm trying to give you as much information as I can, and distracting me from it, it's frustrating. So I apologize if I came down on you too hard. You're a good dude, and I'm sorry. Okay? So this is a saving face tactic by Iran. I don't imagine this will be followed up by anything else, because it's a hollowed effort. Because I want you to think, what is the solution for Iran? What are they trying to accomplish? You put 100 drones in there and you launch a couple continental ballistic missiles. You don't put cruise missiles in. I've heard cruise missiles. And those are really designed to get in, stay low, and be unseen. And Iron Dome isn't very effective against cruise missiles. You're going to have to use a different battery to stop cruise missiles, which is usually electronic countermeasures. And also there are some defense weapons that are air-to-air missiles that can be effective against them. And also there are some man-portable systems that are effective against cruise missiles. But most of those things are like CWIS based, high fire, high yield, high density, and a propensity to maim or injure a vehicle to stop it from flying. That's how you intercept a cruise missile. So if Iran really wanted to do this, they would have put up 300 drones. They would have brought in a couple of aircraft to stem off any fighters. They would have brought in cruise missiles along nape of the earth and ballistic missiles as well. And it wouldn't have been announced, and we wouldn't have known about it for a week, because it's obviously in retaliation to the April 8th, April 7th event. It's not strength. This isn't strength. I mean, sending a bunch of unmanned drones is not strength. Iran is a defensive country. They're not an offensive country. Their whole entire makeup is integrated air defense systems. That's correct, James. He says Iran probably fears the response. Once again, let's follow this train of thought, okay? So they launch 100 drones. They put a couple ballistic missiles in the air. Most of these drones, I told you, were going to be shot over Jordan. And while I was giving you the information, that's exactly what happened. I said, I don't even know that most of these are going to reach and be hit by Iron Dome over Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. And although some did make it, which of course they did, the solution to this is, if the attack is successful, and Iran would have been successful doing that, what's the reaction from Israel? The reaction from Israel is full-scale war. There wouldn't be a measured response. Military leaders would be killed summarily. Integrated air defense systems from southern Iran would be attacked. You would see cruise missiles from Israel attacking infrastructure and command and control units. And you would see more than likely 6 cities in Iran being hit with military assets from Israel. That's the reaction from Israel if this was successful. So either Iran wants full war And they want Israel to unleash its might in the United States on Iran, which I'm telling you right now, that's not what Israel wants. They have no desire for that. So what else is the reason? And why would you do it so haphazardly and half-assedness? And the reason is because Iran doesn't want that necessarily to succeed. Iran is flexing. Iran is posturing to its people that they are going to retaliate against Iran because they have to. They have to keep control of their people. The morality police is out in Iran right now. That's also something, I don't know if they've released that. I don't know if that's on Fox. But the morality police is out in Iran, and that is to quash and quelch any uprising in Iran. It is a very delicate situation for Iranians. They have to save face. They have to do a show of force. They have to ensure that it really doesn't kill anybody, like when they went and attacked the U.S. bases because they all missed. They have to send enough to make it look real, but go, shucks, Israel stopped everything. Bummer. And that's what they're doing. It's the same reaction that we got from Soleimani. They didn't want to fuck with the U.S., so they could hit our bases. They chose not to. It wasn't an accident. It's not that they don't have the technology. They have ICBM capability too. They have extremely accurate targeting systems. So you have to understand that if they wanted to start a war, there's other ways to do it. And how you do it is you alert all the proxies, including Hezbollah, IRGC, the Houthis, Islamic Brotherhood, the JIP, all to attack simultaneously. And that's not what you saw. You saw the Houthis because the Houthis are going to Houthi, right? The Houthis are going to Houthi. No matter what Iran says, Houthis are going to Houthi. That's the one thing you gotta know. You know, haters are going to hate and Houthis are going to Houthi. So the moment that Iran even launched those drones, Houthis like, we're in. Here we go. And they're like, no, please do not do anymore. And they're like, fuck that, we're in. We got your back. That's just what Houthis do. The Houthis Houthi. Hezbollah has been extremely patient in this whole thing. JIP has been fairly patient in this whole thing. Hamas, they don't care. They're raving psychotics. And IRGC has been fairly patient in this thing. But when you strike an IRGC general and kill him, there has to be retaliation. There has to be retaliation. No, or they needed the distraction. A distraction from what? You just saw the might of Israel or Iran. Iran is not an offensive country. They can't fly at night. They can't fly over water. They can't fly in inclement weather. That's their Air Force. Do you want me to tell you about their Navy? They've got some cutters. They don't have aircraft carriers. They don't have air superiority. The thing that Iran has that makes them extremely difficult to fight is integrated air defense systems. They have the greatest IAD system in the world. Israel as an adversary, right? Israel probably has the best IAD system, who is an ally, but as an adversary, Iran is ridiculously strong defensively. Their southern border is amazingly fortified, and they've got coastal batteries that can take out ships and vessels and all these other things. So it's important to understand that Iran is a strong country militarily, but they are not an offensive country. I'm not saying they can't go on offense, but if you want to talk about from a standpoint of creating war over water or over multiple countries, no. So look at the Iranian borders. You got Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, all to the north. I think I have a map. Let me get you a map. Just so everyone can see. Okay, am I over this? No, I'm not. I made it small enough. Okay, so Armenia, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan to the north. Then you have Kazakhstan, Russia, our direct neighbors to the north. And then Iran borders Afghanistan and Pakistan to the east, Iraq to the west, Turkey to the northwest and Persian Gulf, then the Gulf of Oman to the south. And that's the Middle East. So when we look at Iran, and you look at the space between the two, you've got Iraq right in the middle. Let me just turn off this map. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying. It's sensitive. So sensitive. It's a liberal. Okay, so if we take a look at this map right here, here's Iraq. Here, let me turn these off. Here's Iraq. Let me go to terrain so we can really see this son of a gun. Here's Iraq. And let me move my picture because people are going to yell at me. Okay. So you've got Iraq. Where do we go? Where's Iraq? Oh, son of a bitch. Sorry, guys. This software is amazing, but at the same time, it's not. All right. So here's Iran. And then you come over here and you've got Iraq. So you've got Iraq right here. You've got Israel right here. Here's Syria. And Syria is right up against Israel right here. You've got Lebanon, Beirut over here. And then you've got Iran all the way over here. Here's Afghanistan. Here's Turkmenistan. Just called all those out. And then you've got Iran. And between that area, if we turn all these off and we go to a live map, here's the border of Iraq, all right here. And here's Afghanistan. Here's Turkmenistan. So Iran, here's the Persian Gulf. Here's Iran. This giant thing right here. So look how far they have to go for this attack. So they went over Iraqi airspace. So you have Iraqi airspace right here. They went over Jordanian airspace. They went over Syrian airspace. They may even came over a little bit in Saudi Arabia airspace. So this whole thing is why I said I severely doubt if you're going to see a massive success on any of these. Let's go ahead and watch this and see where we're at with Fox and what some updates are.
Shoulders of the Biden administration and this split policy that they're trying to have it both ways to curry.
So let me do this. I want to tell you what the big. Let's talk about the United States real quick because we haven't done that. So, what is the overall reaction from the United States on this? Nothing. Joe Biden isn't going to do shit. Joe Biden said, you want to know what Joe Biden said? He said, don't. How far is a drone's ability? That depends on the size. It depends on the model. On average, 500 miles if it's fueled properly on one of those sizes. But it depends. There's no refueling capabilities. They're not running off of Radio Shack batteries. They're running on a jet fuel. They're not prop-based. They are propulsion-based drones, so they consume fuel, but they're like a motorcycle. Does that make sense? So you put a gallon of gas in a car, you're going to get anywhere from 12 to 31 miles. You put a gallon of gas in a motorcycle, you're going to get 100 miles or so. This is very much the same thing when it comes to these drones. They're extremely lightweight, aerodynamic, so they've got a very long range. But they're one-way drones too, which is why they have a long range, because if they go bingo, it doesn't matter, right? So if their fuel source gets to 10%, who gives a shit? They're kamikaze drones. They're designed to never come back. So its range is almost doubled. Does that make sense? because it doesn't have to save anything for the way back. So when it comes to, I'm just texting Olivia. Hold on. Peter, if you're still on, will you give me a holler and tell me you're on? I got a call. Peter, I want to talk to you. So do me a favor. I don't come after viewers because they pick on me. I don't think I've ever done that. It's just it just wasn't a good day to do that, dude. You know, I've got friends over there. I've been on the phone since 6:30 this morning on this stuff. It was a really long week. And I just wasn't in the mood for it, bad. So listen, I'm sorry. I apologize. That was some thin skin on me, and I'm not that guy. You're right. You were kidding. So if you can get that message, you suspended him for 15 minutes. All right, let's get a message to him because I probably overreacted. Question: would Iraq or any other countries that had their airspace used retaliate again in Iran if the drone dropped in their country and said no? Nope. You would see a call to the clerics and the Shah, and they would say, I want a few goats and a few camels and a couple of virgins, but otherwise, no. You're not going to see, no one's going to fuck with Iran in that area. Nobody wants to. But let's look at United States. United States has a choice. United States has not done anything to thwart Russia except run a proxy. They've done nothing to retaliate against Russia. They've done nothing to dissuade with Russia. The only thing they've done is give armaments to Ukraine. They did nothing against the Houthis and the Yemenis who attacked U.S. vessels. They did nothing to Iran when Iran launched at our bases. They won't defend Taiwan. They said they don't even recognize independence for Taiwan anymore. China has absolutely just said, we want to go into Taiwan, and the United States like, go ahead. We don't care. Oh, we don't want you to. Don't do it. Please. Oh, stop. Oh, mercy. Don't go. So here's what happened twofold. Iran was doing this to save face, and the United States lost face. We look so weak to Muslim countries. We look so fake to these countries. Biden saying don't is not how you stop Iran. This is how you stop Iran. If you put one vehicle over the 32nd air parallel, the United States will retaliate on your oil reserves and your oil fields in turn, knocking you into a stone age financially and ensuring a coup in Iran. One drone leaves Iranian soil, and we are going to cripple you financially. That's a message. Biden has done nothing to ensure stability or that the United States is effectively capable of demonstrating a proportionate response or a proportional response. Everything he does is feckless. He's known for a week that Iran was going to do something. Everybody knew. I knew. This wasn't classified. This was open intel. Everybody knew about it. I guarantee you Leroy knew about it. My wife told me this morning they were doing it. I said, I already know. It's like, how did you know? It just happened. I said, this has been the best kept secret. This is the worst kept secret in the world. Biden said don't, and I don't think there's going to be a response. I think both sides, all sides will push away from the table right now and call it good. IRC general dies. Iran gets a show of force. Iran keeps face. The only thing that's throwing me off is why they did it from Iranian soil. Unless they want to instigate Israel into this war and bring in Russia. That is the only thing I can think of, is that this coalition of Iran, China, South Africa, North Korea is looking to grow. And the only way you grow is by gaining sympathy. And this is this whole new world order shit that everyone keeps talking about, the Davos summit. No, it's called Russia, it's called China, it's called North Korea, and it's called South Africa and other countries who are showing sympathy to this union. And if Iran launches from their soil and Israel retaliates, Iran can say, they killed one of our generals. We were just doing what we should do, which is defend ourselves and show a show of force, and they attack our homeland? I think right now the United States is telling Israel to stand the fuck down. Hold on. Oh, Peter. Okay. Hold on. I got to read this. Don't leave. Uh-oh, Matt, I love you, brother. I just heard 45 minutes ago that some shit was popping off, so I checked with you. I'm sitting in my truck trying to stay informed and getting the 420 on outside a concert waiting to see a great Pearl Jam. Nice. Down in South Florida. We're cool, dude. Nothing but love for you. All right, man, cool. Thanks. This guy, just is not the day, dude. You know what I mean? You know how it is, dude. You've been in the military. You've been, your buddies are busting balls, and then there's this days where like, dude, don't fucking, just shut up. Leave me alone. I'm shut up, leave me alone mode. You know, you can call me a puss and everything afterwards, you know, and I'll deal with it. You know, oh, Matt, is your vagina hurting today? And I'll laugh. But today, nah, just not today. All right, cool. But that's what I anticipate, right? Let's watch a little Fox and let's see, because I've been out of the loop for a good hour talking to you. And let's see what we got. I've got some other stuff for you.
Often smuggled into places like southern Lebanon. And there is a real threat tonight that Iran continues the provocative actions against Israel.
This is a great question from Mel. Can Russia afford to have conflicts on two fronts? Mel, you and I both know Russia can't afford to have a conflict on one front. And let's face it, when it comes to Ukraine, Russia won't have to have a battle on any fronts, because they'll just run proxy to Russia or Iran. They'll just treat it like Syria or Crimea 2.0, kiddo. You know that. So they might put some mercenary groups or some hired military mercs in Iran, but they're not gonna put Soviet soldiers. They're not gonna put red forces. I don't anticipate that. So they can't afford not to at this point, kinda. You know what I mean? He's kind of just put all of his eggs in one basket, hasn't he?
Now, President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin
posted is our
where's Trump talking, Kristen? Is he on OAN? What's he on real quick? I'll try to get it on.
They're going to look for delivery options, and that's what we have to be focused on over the next few weeks.
Real quick on that point, I want Bianca to jump in as well, and Fred, maybe you first. The Washington Post had a report about 3 days ago, as you no doubt saw, that said that Iran is dangerously close to obtaining nuclear weapons, but on the final point, the nuance that Tony just pointed out, having a deliverable missile, they might be a couple of years away. What's your sense about the accuracy of that, the danger, and what we're seeing tonight about whether what you just reported, that Iran may be testing the air defenses of Israel for delivering just such a weapon? But again, the Washington Post, on one hand, is saying they're close to obtaining these weapons, but delivering that on a missile is another matter. What are
That's
your
not
thoughts,
true.
Fred?
That's not true. Okay, so first of all, Iran is reverse engineering their nukes. Okay, they're not building nuclear capabilities right now. They've stalled that process. So now they're building the payload system. They just successfully tested an ICBM, an intercontinental ballistic missile. They launched an ICBM and brought it back down. This was just done about a month ago. So to say that Iran doesn't have a delivery system for this, yes, they do. Yes, they do. Iran does have the capability to deliver an ICBM. So to say that they don't is bullshit. The fact that they have a missile or not that's ready to be put on the end of a warhead is a completely different conversation, which I think this guy will tell you the same thing. Let's listen.
I have a book coming out on it. I don't think Iran will have an operational nuclear weapon for a year to 18 months. That's still too close for me. Iran will soon have enriched uranium in a gaseous form that could be made into the core of a nuclear weapon, in my opinion. But look, there are many experts who disagree with me. They think Iran is closer, but I think a year away is pretty dangerous.
You know, what's not up for debate is the fact that this administration has allowed some of this with the billions of dollars that we've unfrozen and going back to Obama. That's clearly what has allowed us to get to this dangerous point, though. And Tony and Fred, the Iranian ambassador to the UN, this kind of underscores exactly what you're saying, Fred. You know, obviously they were using the attack in Syria as a precipice to why they were doing this retaliation. But they did say, if Israel makes another mistake, Iran's reaction will be much more severe.
See, there it is.
How serious are they?
See? It's posturing. Iran just did it. Iran's saying that's it. That's the wave. So, folks, you know, you just got to listen. Just relax. Don't just don't keep believing everything you hear on the news. They're designed to keep you sucked in and buying. By the way, if you like and appreciate the Don't Unfriend Me show and the information you've heard here, you can donate to the show. Something that we've done, they've turned off stars on here, so you can't do it. But if you want to directly donate to the show, you can go to linktapgo/thedumbshow, or just go to thedumbshow.com, THEDUMSHOW, click the donate button. You can do it through PayPal completely anonymously if you'd like to. And whatever you can give, $5, $10, $100. We've had people give $500. It's up to you, whatever you want to do to help out. Now, please do me a favor. If the kids are fed, wife and husband are taken care of with presents and birthday presents, you've given a little bit to your local veteran charity. And once all those things are taken care of, if you feel that this show is something you want to donate to, we would appreciate it. We use every dollar. It doesn't go to a corporation. It doesn't go to the Republican Party. It goes to us, my family, my wife, Olivia, my kids, and it continues to provide this show for you. This stuff isn't cheap. All these programs aren't cheap. Broadcasting this isn't cheap. You keep it funded. So consider us the PBS. We're the DMS, the Dummies Network. So if you could help us out, we'd appreciate it by going to thedumbshow.com and donating. You can also get some information on us at thedumbclub.com, where we have a great club that you can join and get some exclusive member benefits. All right, let's go ahead and listen to Donald Trump, see what he has to say. I'm going to broadcast this for a little bit.
Thank you very much. We have to get him out. You know, you look at all the things that are happening, everything, the whole world is ablaze. You know, it's interesting. Viktor Orban, who's the prime minister of Hungary, very strong guy, very strong person. I think happens to be a very good person, but a very strong person, doesn't play games, didn't want any illegal immigrants in his country. You know, then they say, oh, he's such a bad. Well, they asked him 3 weeks ago, what's going on with the world? What's going on? Everybody's fighting. Russia, Ukraine, Israel, the Middle East is blowing up. Everything's blowing up. China's going to be next with Taiwan because of weakness. China's going to be next. What's going on? He said, bring Donald Trump back as president and it'll all stop. It'll all stop.
All right, we're not doing a Trump rally today. I'm sorry, folks. I know some of you want me to put the Trump rally on, but we're going to keep this news going here.
That changes the whole dynamic. And then you have to look at the targeting is. And we won't know that for the next couple of hours. What targets are they going after? Are they going after facilities? Are they going after a caboose? Are they going after their defense ministry? Are they going after the Knesset? That will change the response of the Israelis as well. And there's a big difference when we were attacked, after we killed Soleimani. We were told in advance.
So were you.
Through the protective power
in
the Middle East for us, which was the Swiss, that the Iranians were going to attack, but they're going to hit dirt. They hit al-Assad. And we had some people that had injuries primarily from blasts, but we didn't have anybody get killed. This is different. They weren't alerted. They're coming at us.
They were alerted. That's not true. Iran specifically said that they were going to retaliate. This is the problem I have. Is I'm not going to defend Iran. Okay, I think Iran needs to be absolutely flatlined. They need to be taken out of the nuclear race. and they need to be absolutely crippled. Every single dollar needs to be seized, and that country needs to overtake their current form of government. Okay? I can't stand, I don't mind the Iranian people. Several Iranian friends who actually live in Iran, who I've met overseas. I've got friends here in the United States who are Iranian, and I hold no ill regard towards the Iranian people. The Shah, the cleric, the Ayatollah, the tyrannical regime of that country needs to be eliminated. They need to be hung, and it needs to be replaced. And this is Iran's flexing their arms to establish themselves in the Middle East. I do not believe this was a deliberate, at this point, based upon what I've seen and the information that I've gotten and the way that they struck the areas of Israel. If Iran truly wanted this to succeed, they would have activated the IRGC. They would have acted Hezbollah. They would have acted the JIP, the Islamic Brotherhood, and the Houthis. But the Houthis are going to Houthi. And that's not what we've seen. So I think that just maybe that we will continue to see splashes in the dirt. Splashes in the dirt. And that's exactly what he said. And he absolutely got it right from the Soleimani retaliations. They were sporadically around the base. Well, so are these. Okay? So are these.
Well, now it's one and done.
It's not a cough. Do you guys remember when I had bronchitis? It's still in the middle of my chest, and allergies are going around, and I can't get it to stop. I might have to go to the doctor and find out. It's okay. It's probably cancer.
Well, now it's one and done. They're dancing with the bear. They start, you stop dancing with the bear when the bear decides to stop dancing. And I think the Israelis, especially if the targeting hits some things that are pretty essential for them, the Israelis will respond by it's a considerable force. So I think that if you're looking at it tonight, this is like round one, and we'll see what the daylight brings tomorrow. And there's a 7-hour difference. What daylight brings and the targeting that they've hit, because the drones now are just entering their airspace, and we'll see what they're going to do and what they're going to react to. So this is not, I would say this is not a one and done. It's going to continue.
Yeah, you don't know that. It very well might. It very well might continue, but you don't know that. So I would just appreciate it if people would, just stick to the facts. This is what I was talking about. Stick to the facts. You don't need to make shit up. Right now, everything is demonstrating that this is a preliminary flexing of attention and power from Iran. That's the only thing we know. We don't know if this is going to go on through the night. We don't know if this is a giant prelude to war. There's nothing that's demonstrating that at this time. So I think it would behoove us to err on the side of caution, especially somebody from the NSA would know, to not necessarily make those bold predictions unless he's absolutely sure. But that's just my gut. All right, let's watch the rest of this.
Significant. And in a way, I wish the president had not canceled his announcement to the nation, because I think it's important. He gets out and explains to the American people what's going on, because the most important thing he does is pass information to them. But he also sends a message, and he sends a message to the Israelis and to the Iranians, what should be expected of both of them and what's going to happen. By him going to bed early and not going and talking to the American people, it's not that he's not talking to the American people, Sandra. He's not talking to the world. He's not talking to the Iranians, and he's not talking to the Israelis. That's a big mistake.
I agree.
With this just for a second.
I couldn't agree more. Biden should come out right now and apologize for giving, under the Obama administration, $150 billion to Iranians and then releasing $6 billion up to $10 billion to the Iranians. That's what I think he should do. And I think he should come out and he should be very, very clear that the United States has went above and above, below, and beyond. Matt, do you expect any major response from Israel? I think the United States is telling Israel not to. I think they're going to wait to see if there's any death toll. Right now, we haven't heard of any. The Dome is going to take care of most of this. Most of these drones were shot down. They say ICBMs came in. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's not. I don't know. I will tell you, ICBMs are a very different breed. You will see those things when they go up, and they will probably use the DEWs on them. Direct energy weapons. And there's 4 separate systems that can be used. But Scud missiles are considered to be ballistic missiles. And the Patriot system is exceptional at intercepting those. So much different explosion and much different firefight. Imagine a sparkler versus a mortar, if you know fireworks. So that's what I would say.
Again ahead of us. And what are they targeting? What do they do? Is it counter-value targeting, counter-force targeting? You know, counter-force means going after military installations. Counter-value means you're going after civilian targets. What kind of targets were being hit? But what I'm talking about a misread is that I think they misread Netanyahu, and they misread the way the Israelis look at this. Now, maybe the discussion between President Biden and Prime Minister Netanyahu can kind of change that dynamic of him basically saying, "We got your back, and you don't have to respond." But that's what the president needs to say publicly to the American people, not in a private discussion, because he's not just addressing Netanyahu. He's just not addressing the American people. He's addressing the world, and he's setting a condition. I think that needs to be done. So again, I'll just close the circle by saying this, John. I think right now.
Yeah, Iran has taken out nuclear scientists. They've taken out IRGC members. All of that's true. That doesn't change anything. But once again, if this is like a last... First of all, Alex, thank you for donating. I don't know why the donator's not working, but it's not showing up, which is frustrating. But thank you either way for donating $53. We appreciate it. That helps the site immensely. One donation can change the entire day, man. You know, this is a lot of time to put this stuff together. So I appreciate you showing the appreciation. So let's keep going. Q, is everyone starting wars because of Joe or because of Trump perhaps becoming the president again? It's certainly not because of Trump. And it's not starting wars. It's just the natural progression of groups like Russia, Iran, North Korea, South Africa joining forces to create instability in the region. Their goal, obviously, is to kind of have a changing of the guard and challenge the United States and challenge Israel and other sovereign nations who would oppose them from doing this, who, they're sending a message globally that these countries are no longer going to follow the lead of the United States and be afraid of the United States. So Iran's going to do their thing. Russia's going to do their thing. China's going to do their thing. And we have a leader who is feckless, who won't do anything. So they are emboldened because they know they can get away with it. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why.
Here's the clear message we should have sent. And the clear message we should have sent when missiles started flying from the Houthis and the missiles supported by the Iranians in the Red Sea is we should have put on the bottom of the sea the spy ship the Iranians had that was doing the targeting. Jason, they're in the Red Sea. That sends your message out.
Jason says the dome technology supplied to Israel, but to no other country, including U.S. The Iron Dome's in the United States. I'm not going to tell you where, but the Iron Dome most officially is securing several locations in the United States. Matt, what's South Africa's role in all of this? Well, they've joined the monetary union of Russia, China, Iran with the new form of currency. Jason says, so U.S. tech supplies to foreign country, but not there. I just answered your question, Jason. I just answered it. So maybe we have a delay or something, but no, that's not the case. There's not many other countries that are under constant threat of bombardment like Israel. And I can confirm. I can't confirm the other country that it's in, but it is in the United States, and it is in another country outside of Israel. It's not going to be hard for you to do the math on that. Let me give you the qualifications. A country that people want to bombard or is being bombarded right now. Don't be sorry, Jason. Don't be sorry. It's okay. I'm not mad, dude. I'm direct when it comes. This is when I put my big boy pants on. I love this stuff. I did this for years. I love this shit, and I get fired up. But you don't have to be sorry, brother. Israel, I can be short sometimes, and I don't mean to be. So I apologize. I get into my old. This was feedback I got in the military, is that I would take over briefings and not necessarily share the wealth. But that's the way I am. I've always been that way. I don't need help. I don't need partners. So I apologize. But the United States has the Iron Dome in country right now. Israel obviously used it. One other country used it. And you can do the math on who that would be, but I can't necessarily tell you who that is.
When it's over.
It was thousands of people on the beaches, in the parks. You know, you couldn't get a restaurant. You couldn't get a reservation.
And Alex, it's great to see you, buddy. It's been so long. So love you, man. Thank you for the help.
You know, to kind of be a fly on the wall on this night of history I wouldn't say I'm happy I'm here, but it is something to behold.
I know it's the middle of the night there. I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to anybody, or maybe people were talking about this during the day. But the fact that Iran has directly attacked Israel escalates this Middle East tinderbox in a way that has never happened up until now. Was there any sense among the Israeli people that you gathered today when you were talking with them that if Iran were to mount a retaliatory strike like tonight, that Israel should hit back again?
I was actually talking to Michael Oren today, the former ambassador, and I think people did not expect this. They thought that, of course.
I didn't expect it. I'll tell you that much. I had absolutely no fucking clue Iran had the desire to attack Israel from their soil in any way, shape, or form. There's no reason for them to. That's why they developed all these proxies. It's definitely a reposition. It's a line. It's almost like Iran saying stop. You know, like. I don't know. There's a message somewhere here. Intel analysts will be picking this over the next couple of weeks. There's going to be a lot of hidden messages in this. This is a form of communication. I just don't know what it is. It's either a very large threat, which, okay, let me explain something. Israel, someone just asked me, does Israel have F-35s? Yes. And they have 36 F-35s, I believe, and that was in 2022, November, December, that we gave Israel F-35s. The Raptors' capability of over-the-horizon targeting, let me just put it very succinctly for you. 5 Raptors could take off in Israel and hover over Tel Aviv, hover over Jerusalem, and take out every single aircraft in Iran. Its over-the-horizon targeting is well over 500 miles. Let me give you an example. One F-35 went against 12 F-15s. These F-15s took off and they scrambled. They were in Germany. An F-35 was over the horizon, 500 miles off center. F-15s had absolutely nothing on squawk. They had nothing on IFF. They had nothing on radar. Nothing at all. They all died within minutes. And they didn't even see the F-35 on radar or visually. Israel has 36 of those. I don't think people need to stop bombing Palestine. Why? Why should we stop bombing Palestine, Jason? Why should they stop bombing Palestine? Help me understand. Do you want Hamas to come back in power? Why do a half measure? Why doesn't Palestine surrender? And let's face it, Hamas is the leadership in Palestine, so you can say, why doesn't Palestine surrender? This is a war. And you need a conclusion for war, or you need a peace treaty. There's no desire for a peace treaty. Hamas's demands are completely ridiculous. There's nothing even remotely genuine about their pleas. They've taken American hostages, They've taken Israeli hostages. What do you not understand about negotiating with terrorists? I say turn Gaza into a freaking dust bowl and then look over at West Bank and say, you guys want to fuck around too? Israel tried 17 years to give Gaza, Hamas, and the Palestinians in West Bank everything they wanted. They created Hamas. The Israelis created Hamas. They gave them employment, 72,000 work furloughs to come over. They put a fence around them and barricade, not because to keep them in, to keep them out of Israel. And how did they go ahead and repay them? They spied on them. They collected data, guard rotations, weak points. They took paragliders in. They slaughtered and murdered and decapitated and cut people apart. They broke women's kneecaps, raped them, beheaded them, killed them, took children hostage, killed them. And then what did Israel do? They waited 30 fucking days. 30 days to give them warning. And what did Hamas do? They took shelter in schools. They took shelters in hospitals. They went into their tunnels under hospitals. They took more food. They took any of the aid that the United States and Israel gave them through Anwar and other programs and took the copper piping, took the metal pipes and made rockets to launch at Israel and kill Israelites, to destroy them. 91% of the population of Palestine believes that Israel are infidels and deserve death. They start training their children at 2.5 and 3-year-olds on weapon fire and grenades and allow them to hold them, allow them to familiarize themselves and begin the indoctrination process that the West and Israel are devils and infidels and all deserve to die. I understand your feelings towards Palestine, and I understand that you believe that Palestine deserves to be saved and surrendered. You are talking like an American who has never been overseas. You have never spent any time there. You don't know anyone from there. You haven't experienced that. You've never lived under the fear of it. But for 17 years, Israel tried to make peace. They did the Abraham Accords. They were attacked in 17. They were attacked in 6, 96, 2002, 2014, 2012, 2020. This isn't the first time, man. And they killed way too many people, way brutally. And Israel said, no more. We're going back to the old way. We're going back to the medieval way. So when you say don't bomb Palestine, you know what my comments are? Palestine should fucking surrender. If they truly cared, they would surrender. They won't, and Israel shouldn't stop until they do. That's it. Free American hostages, I don't give a fuck. Sick of it. I'm sorry kids are dying. I'm sorry women are dying. It's war. Don't start shit if you can't back it up. Pretty simple.
Ambassador, and I think people did not expect this.
Now you can be
National
sorry, Jason.
Security Advisor and a number of senior advisors to the president, as well as the vice president, dialing in remotely, trying to establish.
Wait a second. Jason says because Israel never existed until UK gave Palestine to them. Explain to me this. Where did the word Palestine come from? What's the etymology of Palestine? Can you please educate me? Please educate me on the etymology of Palestine, the word Palestine. What language is it? Yes, I told you that Hamas were Israel-controlled opposition. You are paid opposition. I'm paid. You're an idiot. Jason, you're just a fucking moron. I'm paid opposition. It's interesting. I've got my I-9s on file. They're all on my website. Go find out who's paying me. You're an idiot. You can't win an argument, so you call me opposition. Where does the word Palestine come from? What is the etymology of the word? Palestinians and Christians lived in peace? Yes, but Hamas and Christians didn't. Listen, asshole. This is like, you're like a liberal. You're like a liberal. You forget the word illegal in front of immigrant and then say, you guys are xenophobic. No, we're law-abiding and we think illegal immigrants shouldn't come into our country. You say Palestine. Yes, Palestinians and Christians have lived harmoniously. So's Jews and Christians, unless you want to talk about the Hasidic Jews. But then we can go ahead and talk about the Opus Dei Catholics if you want. We can talk about the Baptists if you want. We can talk about the Roman Catholics who believed in slavery and selling your children. We can, who all were based off Talmud and Jesuit writings. Every religion has its sects that are batshit crazy, but it's not the Palestinians and Christians that have an issue, brother. Hamas, terrorists. If you think terrorists love Christians, I encourage you to go. I encourage you to go. I would love to see you go to Kabul and just simply say, I am a Christian American. I'll give you 2.5 minutes. It would be very similar if you went into Crenshaw and dropped the N-bomb. About 5 minutes. And your ass is going to be strung up on 21st Street from a light pole. You're just going to get tarred, feathered, quartered, and gelded if you go ahead and do that in Kabul. It doesn't matter if Israel was occupied by Eastern Europeans because the Eastern Europeans were inhabitants of that land. And you didn't answer the question. You didn't answer the question, I noticed. You just dodged. Where is the word originated from? Palestine. Please educate me. Please educate me. Tell me. I'm waiting. Stop dodging. You wanted to do this, man. You're the MMA boy. Let's go. You want to have this argument? I don't give a fuck if you're a Muslim or not. Let's go. Answer the question, genius. We already know what you think about Jews, so you might as well just unzip your fly and show everybody who you are so I can undress you properly. Answer the question. I don't think you're going to. I don't even think you know. Because if you answer the question, it's going to completely dispel everything you just said. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Where does the word originate from? Palestine. Just call in, dude. If you got a sack, call in. I'm waiting. Come on, dude. You've been watching my show too long. I love how Peter called me. No, it wasn't Peter. Who was the guy who called me control opposition? Where's that guy? Call in. I want you to tell me. Why is everyone that you guys disagree with controlled opposition? What? Mom's not home. She's at the play. I know. I'm here doing this, cat. What are you doing? Come here. Come here. While we're waiting for... Nice Google. You know what, dude? You just fucking Googled that, and it took you, 4 minutes? Is it a Roman word, and you add a question mark because you think you're guessing? Okay, fine. Then tell me what the actual Roman word is. It's not Palestine. You got 30 seconds. Otherwise, you're Googling shit. No, Palestine is not a Roman word. I love guys who think that Israel was established in 1940. So now that you don't know, how about this? How about I'm not going to argue with somebody whose history stops at 1940? If you don't even know where the word Palestine came from, and you're going to sit in here and tell me that Jesuits were not on this land long before, because there is no country of Palestine. Go look at 630. You can go back 2,000 years, you understand? You don't have to go ahead and stick to 1940. Roman emperor conquered and call it Palestina. or Palestine. The Philistines who populated that area. It was taken from the Jesuits. They were expelled from the land by the Romans. The Philistines or Palestinia were an amalgamation of people from Turkey, from Afghanistan, from all over the Middle East who were lost, who were vagrants. They were gypsies. They were vagabonds and made that country. There's no such thing as Palestinians. There were no Palestinians. Palestinians was given to that land and was named that from a Roman emperor in 1830 when the land was stolen from the Jesuits and they were expelled. Your education is lacking. And it's not the first time. And when people say the word anti-Semite or anti-Semitic, does everyone realize that everyone who amalgamated and came into Palestine are Semites? That everyone over there are Semites? So I'm being anti-Semitic right now. What you think you know and what you actually know are two different things. Why am I coming down so hard on you? Why am I? Because I've read your bullshit that you've put. I've read how you treat Jews. I've heard the shit you said about me, you little fucker. And you think that I don't know? You don't think I know the shit you've said about me, but you suck my dick all the time and say how great I am and I'm your buddy and read this and read that, but you talk shit about my back? The worst thing you could have fucking possibly done was pretty much, in not so many words, call me a Jew lover. How fucking dare you? So you can keep pretending, you two-faced piece of shit, that you're my biggest fan and you love me and Matt's so badass and Matt's so tough because he faces people. Well, I just faced you and you're not much of a fucking challenge. I don't care how MMA you think you are. And if you want to challenge that side too, show up at my front fucking door, roll the dice and find out. And your comment that I'm a Jew lover so much, in so many words, you hate Jews. And the thing is, you probably don't know any of them. Anything else, big guy? I didn't fucking think so. Is it Roman? Hi.
I do not feel good at all.
Were you up in the... You're going to bed?
Yeah, I'm actually super tired. I don't feel good.
All right, Bubba, go get some sleep. Hey, I know you don't feel it. Do you need anything from me?
No, I'm actually lucky because my eye was holding would be wet, super itchy, and my eye would be like this.
Uh-huh.
Instead of this, it'd do this.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. Hey, would you do Dad a favor before you go? Will you get me just some water from the table?
Yeah.
Thanks, pal.
Tell Mom I'm going to sleep. Because
I will tell her, buddy.
I think all my electronics on it.
You know I'm not anti... Yeah, you are. You're absolutely fucking it. You know what? Let me give you a bigger target. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. Just because you served in Israel doesn't mean... Yeah, here you go. Why don't you just repaste the shit you already said? Just because you served in Israel doesn't mean you're the only one with Jewish and Israel comrades. Comrades? I live in Sacramento, and it's been years since you have been around Jews. How do you know where the fuck I've been? How do you know where I've been? When's the last time I was in Israel? Educate. Why don't you tell me more about me? Tell me more about me. When was I in Israel? When's the last time I've been? I'll wait. When's the last time I've been in Israel? I don't know about Jason. I'm done with Jason. Fuck Jason. Jason's lightweight. I want Carrie. I want Caillou to tell me when's the last time I've been in Israel. What year was I? Can you please tell me the years I was in Israel and in what facet and capacity I was there? Thanks, brother man. Love you. Good night. Will you get the cat? Will you feed her, please, or something, or make a rug out of her? Go out. Psst, psst, psst. Go with your brother. Go with her. She's about as scared of me as nothing. What years? When was I in Israel? Hey, let me ask you another question, big guy. We could do it like Harry Carey. Hey, I'm just wondering. Do you know Jesus is a Jew? Did you know? Oh, we already did the drone attacks. Don't worry about that. We've already done that shit. We're switching gears. Matt, you're getting. I'm not getting emotional, bro. There is nothing, and even if I am, there is nothing that is wrong with getting emotional with facts. Nothing at all. Maybe you can't do it, but I can. I've been doing it for years. I'm not emotional. I think you're an asshole. I think you're an asshole. I think you're a two-faced dick who talks shit behind my back and can't back it up, who's not man enough to call in and actually back it up. Tell me when I've been in Israel. You said yourself you don't live around Israelis. I never said those words in my life. Show me the episode. Show me when I said it. Show me which article I ever said I don't live around Israelis. I didn't say. I said this area isn't predominantly full of Jews. That doesn't mean that I don't live near Jews. It doesn't mean I don't spend time with Jews. When was the last time I was in Israel? In what facet and capacity? You're a pussy. You're a pussy. You can't even defend yourself. Guys like you, man. The reason why you guys go in the MMA is because you don't have the sack to do it in real life. So you go and pretend fight. But when it comes down to it, you're a fucking coward. And that's on you, man. That's not on me. Don't put me in your box. I served my country. I did my time. And I don't want a medal for it. I don't want an award for it. I don't want recognition from it. But what I don't want is some poser to come in and question me who has done nothing of service for anyone else other than themselves. I just told you what forget it. I'm done with you. You're done. Yes, you did. You just said it. You just said that I haven't. When have I been in Israel? Tell me what years. You know all about me. Tell me when it is. Just answer the question. You just accused me that I haven't been to Israel in 20 years or 30 years. What years? What years? You tell me what years I was in Israel, and then I'll tell you what you said behind my back. I mean, you want to do this, you want to play high school bullshit, let's go. That's fine, but I'm waiting. See, the reason why there's divide in this country is because there's specific people who are trying to divide. This is a perfect example. Somebody who says something to your face and then behind your back goes and talks some shit. It's ridiculous. There's no reason for this. I'm asking you a straight up question. And you won't answer me. I'm still waiting. See, dude, the great thing is that I keep receipts. Oh, man. All right, let's see. Is this you? Is that you? How many years have I been there? Is this you? Free Palestine. Free Palestinia, the Roman word. You shared it. We will never stop sharing. You shared that? Was that you? You share that? Free Palestine? Just making sure we're on the same page. Was that you or is that somebody else? I'm just asking questions, right? How about this one? Let's see what else we got. When Matt said in one of his shows, these are people who do videos online, part of his dummy community, who are not all right, was he talking about me? A while back, you know, he's consistent with his show. It's spot about a week ago or so. Well, that's why I asked if he's brought it up to you. He has this idea that just because I banter and trash talk online that I'm somehow not okay, as if this guy's isn't in entertainment business also. Is that you? Did you say that? Questioning my my sincerity? Who I am? Is that you? That's not you, is it? It looks like you unless it's a guy named Karabunga. Because I can't see the why. He has this idea just because I banter and trash talk online that I'm not somehow okay, as if this guy isn't the entertainment business also. What, like, I'm like, what do you mean? Like I'm a clown? Like I'm here for your fucking entertainment? Like I'm silly like a clown? Is that what it is? He's never said anything like that to me. I thought you were referring to a show. If you hear or see something like that in the future, bring it to our attention and I'll make a comment. I got a whole plethora of these, man. That's not you? Shall I go on? See, the cool thing about having my moderators is that they never know when someone's going to go ahead and question my integrity or start talking shit. So they catalog things. Because we never know when one of you yokels is going to try to take me to court. You never know. Do you want me to read the part about when you said about my experience with Jews and you lied and pretend like you know me? Yeah, that's part of what I said. Oh, okay. You know what? That's enough. That's enough for me. Because you're talking out of both sides of your mouth. You're the guy that said, oh, Matt, dude, I love it. Love it when Matt goes off. I love the information he gives. I love how honest he is. I love it. Blah, 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 blah. Your personal messages you've sent me. But then when you're behind my back, you question my relationship with Jews just now. You even question about my time working with IDF. When was I in Israel? Just answer the question. My mods capture everything. Because you want to know why? You know what's hilarious about this? They probably deserve an ungodly amount of money that I can't give them. Man, they are fucking loyal. They are so damn loyal. And they protect me. And I don't know why. But man, I love them. I fucking love them because they're direct. And when I say something they don't like, they come and talk to me about it. And when I do something that's dumb, they tell me. And when they think I need to do something better, they educate me on it. And they're some of the best people I've ever come in contact with. And my listeners are the same way. It wasn't just Lee, because he's not the one that screenshotted those. I had multiple people say that you're saying anti-Semitic shit in groups, that you're questioning my ability and my time spent with Jews, and that I don't know what I'm talking about because I'm in the entertainment business and I haven't spent any time with them in whatever so many years, because that's what the post said. And I'll go find that one for you too. So my question is, why don't you say that to my face? Because I love that you called me an entertainer. You really think that's what I do, huh? You think my show, if I was like you and I was anti-Semitic and I went on Twitter, that I wouldn't have 2 million followers overnight? Because I know what it would take. All I got to do is lie to you. All I got to do is what Benny does to you guys. That's all I got to do is lie. All I got to do is post shit like this. Because see, here's the thing. I had this information. All I had to do was do what Benny did, take this picture and say Benjamin Netanyahu's on this flight with his cabinet. And then, of course, say could be. And post some phony flight logs, steal it from another page, not give them credit, which is what Benny did, and post it and say that Benjamin Netanyahu and his cabinet fled Israel like cowards. This got hundreds of thousands of likes. It garnered Benny a shit ton of attention. Did he detract it? No. Because here's the real story. Here's the real plane. And it hasn't fucking flown today. Because I got the flight log information, because I'm not the only person who has the ability to track flights and naval aircraft and every other type of vessel known to man, as long as it has an IFF transponder. This is not the Air Force One of Benjamin Netanyahu. And if he did go vertical, nobody would know. And he most certainly didn't go vertical. But this is what he does. He's an entertainer. So when you call me an entertainer, honestly, I'd rather have you call me an asshole. I'm not exaggerating. If you say that I haven't spoken to Jews or worked with Jews or been to Israel in so long of a time, you're making a subtle innuendo that I am uneducated on the topic or out of touch. Is that not right? So what do you mean you didn't say it? You just admitted you did. So now you say to me, I never said you don't know what you're talking about. You're exaggerating now, even though you just admitted that you said I didn't know what I was talking about. You're not very good at this. You should stick to getting your shit kicked out of you. Seriously, bro, you don't know what you're talking about. You just openly said Matt hasn't in such and such time, doesn't live near any Jews, which is a lie. It's an absolute lie. You then said Matt hasn't been to Israel in such and such time. Therefore, you're applying that I am out of touch or that I don't understand. So what are you trying to say? Either I'm ill-informed or you're saying that there has been such a giant change in Israel. Please tell me the change that's taken place. Please tell me the change that's taken place in Israel that makes you believe that somehow it's changed. Is it the fact that they are one of the most inclusive Middle Eastern countries in the world? Is it that parliament has Christians and Orthodox and Muslims, Arabs, Shia, Sunnis, Kurds, American, English, Indian, Hindu in the cabinet? Christian centers in Jerusalem, Orthodox churches, Greek Orthodox, gay and lesbian members of cabinet. Is that what's changed in Israel? What's changed? Tell me what's changed. Tell me what's different since you don't know when I was there. Tell me what's changed since when you don't know I've been there. You're mixing up the story, Matt. I'm merely telling you I'm around Jews more than you based on your comments that you live in a white area. You think Jews, there's not white Jews? What? Holy fuck. Have you ever met a Jew? What color are Jews? Help me understand. I live in a white area, therefore there's no Jews? Holy fuck, could you be any more racist? I never said you weren't in contact with anyone. Dude, you won't answer my question. You won't answer the etymology of Palestine. You won't admit it's Roman, which completely disavows everything you just said about England, because it was actually in 1830 was stolen from the Jesuits, which immediately disproves everything. Yes, Israel wasn't named. You know what else wasn't named? Turkmenistan. Should we just go ahead and annihilate those people? You know what else wasn't on the map? Do you know how many Russian provinces weren't on the map? Should we just kill all of them too? So your justification is what? That the land's stolen? From whom? Which country did the Jews steal it from? Please educate me. And then to sit here and say that you don't even know when I've been to Israel. You have no idea. I could have went there last summer. You don't know. Why do I have to go to Israel to have a relationship with people in IDF and in Mossad and normal civilians? Why do I have to go there to understand? What am I missing? Tell me what I'm missing. Tell me what I'm missing that justifies October 7th. Educate me. I did say you're an entertainer. Saying I'm an entertainer is I'm putting on a show. That's what you're saying. And I find that to be completely disingenuous. You can't give me one example of what, please give me a lie or a performance that I have done ultimately for a show versus having a conversation with people. Do you find this entertaining? Do you find that this is a show for me? Do you think that I'm generally upset with you or that I'm putting on a show? Because I just think you're a dick. And I think it's high time that somebody called you out. I do admit it's a Roman word. Then that completely disproves every fucking thing you just said. Should we go ahead and blow up Iran since it wasn't Iran, it was Ariane? Should we blow them up too? Should we kill all Iranians? Because it was Aryan, and certainly not from the Nazis. Although Iran had Nazi influence in its country, and they were supportive from oil and other types of things to Nazi Germany. But no, Aryan and Persia were those countries. Should we kill them? Is it not their land? Should we just go in and just start slaughtering them? Should we call them dirty Iranians? Instead of calling them with a K, we'll call them Ikes instead. Should we go ahead and, like, I don't know, have a Holocaust for Iranians and throw them in pits and gas them, incinerate them, round them up and put them in camps and put gold stars on them and tattoo them? Is that what you want to do? And according to your logic, if you weren't on the map by 1940, you don't deserve life. Is that what you're saying? Because then Iran's gone, bro. What about the United Arab Emirates? Should we take them out too? The Amorites deserve nothing. They changed their name. We should kill them all. Anybody who's not Mesopotamia, you're out of here. You're all dead. You're eradicated from the earth. Mel, has there been a Canadian province that's been renamed in the last 100 years? Please tell me David Hasselhoff is there. Can we go ahead and just take the entire eastern side of Germany and just obliterate those people? Because post-World War II, we had West Germany and East Germany. Well, that's not on the map anymore, so let's just kill all of them too. Former Yugoslavia, blow them up. Turkmenistan, fuck you. Your name doesn't match what it was. You all need to die. See, the difference between you and me, Kyrie, whatever the fuck your name is there is a difference between intelligence and education. And education is useless without the ability to formulate it and deduce it deductively. If you can't disseminate what you learn and you can't learn from the mistakes you made based upon the presumptions that you make, that is not intelligent. You know just enough to be fucking terrifying. You know just enough to be scary and very dangerous. You very much remind me of the people who are running around and saying shit about Zionism and the Rothschilds. You remind me of Jake Shields. And maybe that's who you emulate, because that fucking guy is an MMA who hates Jews. Is he your idol because you sound just like him? And the thing about Jake Shields is he only understands the history up until 1940, 1938. I mean, if you ask him anything that predates that, he doesn't know anything about it. He can't tell you anything about Mesopotamia. He can't tell you anything about the Jesuits. He can't tell you anything about the Persians. He can't do any of it. And you can't either. So let me do you a solid. I'm going to give you a stay of execution. You go ahead, if you would be so kind, and say the following. I was a dick. I was judgmental. Don't even apologize. I don't want your apology. Shove it up your ass. Just say I was a dick and I was judgmental. And if you put I was wrong on there, then you're good with me. Even if you don't, you're still good with me. I was a dick. I was judgmental. That'd be a nice thing. That's all you got to do, because that's the truth. And then you and I'll buy you a beer. We'll be good. But until then, We're not okay. I've trained with Jake. Well, something rubbed off. And if it wasn't chlamydia, it's something else. We live in the same area. Good. So next time you talk to him, tell him I said I can't kick his ass because I would fight him from 1,000 yards. If I ever had to fight him, I'd fight him with a 308 from 1,000 yards. But tell him I told him to go fuck himself. Will you do that for me? Please. Please tell Jake Shields that Matt from Virginia tells him, from white Virginia with no Jews, that I told him to go fuck himself. Will you do that for me, please? Thank you. And while you're at it, you can do it too. Jake isn't limited. Jake is a fucking bigot. And he's doing it for clicks because he is completely immaterial and he has outlasted his stay in the MMA. He's worthless. And he doesn't have an identity without it. So he's decided to go ahead and hate Jews for clicks, just like a lot of people have. Just like we see Candace Owens doing, just like we see Tucker Carlson doing. And I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. You can call out Jews. I don't care. Call out Netanyahu. Call out him. Call out Bibi. Call out Mossad. The Jews aren't perfect, just like every country, and they deserve to be challenged because not everything they do is Star-Spangled Awesome. Oh, single star awesome, okay? Star of David awesome. But when you start saying all Jews are, every Jew is, the Zionists, the dirty blanks, those moppy-headed, rat-infested, sewer-dwelling blanks. It's no longer about Jews. It's no longer about the government. It's no longer about Israel. It's about a people who are different than you and believe in something. And I will tell you this, people like me will never fucking allow people like you and Jake Shields to breathe again. Because if you try to fucking kill Jews, if you try to kill Mexicans or blacks or Arabs or whatever, I promise you, in this day and age, people will never let it happen again. Because people like my grandmother told us the stories of what took place. We got to go to Warsaw. We got to go to Auschwitz. We got to see what happened. We got to see the claw marks. We got to smell the stench that's still there because it's so thick and it's so putrid. It is just desecrated the land and permeated every inch of those areas. And anyone that goes there, it still looks like a wasteland. So no, I don't think I will. Because I don't care if it's Muslims who I defended. I don't care if it's Christians. I don't care if it's Gentiles. I don't care if they're gay, lesbian, straight, transgender. You have no right to judge and try to take somebody's individual liberties away, no matter how much you disagree with them. And people like me will die trying to stop you and fuckers like Jake Shields from doing it. This isn't about Jews. It's not about Muslims. Because if you had been over there and you had done the things, you would know that this is just stupid. That all of this is stupid. Because the one thing that all of these religions believe, no matter if you're a Buddhist, no matter Orthodox or a Baptist or a Lutheran or a Mormon, Catholic, hell, you can study the Necronomicon if you want to. Every single one of them says that the time on earth here is a fleeting moment. That eternity is after this life. And why we spend so much time hating and killing and destroying each other over it makes no fucking sense, because nobody is going to inherit this. Nobody's going to get Earth. Nobody's going to get this land. This isn't what's promised to anybody. I don't care what religion it is. And even atheists aren't going to inherit it because they're going to be worm food. Even the most dogmatic of principled person isn't going to inherit a royal throne upon a promised land. Mortality is not synonymous with what's promised. So unless you've been there and seen this, unless you've been to Israel, unless you've been to Iraq, unless you've been to Afghanistan, everything you're saying is hypothetical. And instead of you, from an experiential standpoint, actually listen to people, you would realize that my defense isn't of Jews. My defense is the right for Jews to survive and live just like every other person. And the moment that the Jews go ahead and decide to become the opposite of what they are right now, I will speak out against them too. I have no problem calling out. I have no problem calling out Jews. There have been people, the Groypers called into this show long before you did, who called out Hasidic Jews, and I said, I have no disagreement with you. None. But I also have a problem with Old Testament Christians too. Thank you very much. So no, I don't understand your takes, and I don't understand your standpoint at all. And I don't understand why you're calling me an entertainer. And I don't understand why you say that you know who I interact with or who I don't, or how many Jew friends I have or how many don't, or if I've been to Israel in the last 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. None of that matters. You don't know anything about me. So do me a favor, when you're going to speak for me or speak on me, know what the fuck you're talking about. You're gonna sit. You know what? I noticed you didn't say it. So this is the guy you're defending. This is your buddy. This is your hero. Jake Shields. That's your guy. Let's see.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused?
Is that your guy? Guy's using the word goyim. Was he a Groyper? Nick Fuentes Groyper? Are you a Fuentes Groyper? Pray for Israel, somebody says. America first, bitch. Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene, but wow. Iran is the principal obstacle to peace and stability in the Middle East. Israel is the principal obstacle to peace and stability in the Middle East. Tell me how. You love the guy. Tell me how Israel is the principal against peace in the Middle East. Please educate me. This is your boy, right? This is your boy, you know, Jake. He just has a different opinion to me. Okay. Tell me how Israel is stopping world peace. Educate me. To our Israel friends, we have your back. Stand with you against Iran's terrorism. Tom Cotton. Here's Jake Shields, you know, the guy who just disagrees with me. Hey, Tom, how about you go fuck yourself and suck more Zionist cock? Is that your boy? Is that your boy, Jake Shields? How about this one, Jake? Let's sit back and watch Iran and Israel blow each other up. Does anyone else agree? You know what's funny is that Jake Shields hides behind things like let's stay out of war. And you know what? I agree with him. But Jake Shields has never been to war, has he? Jake Shields hasn't done anything of the kind. You guys have that in common. I see why you like him. And if the guy knew anything about war, he probably wouldn't speak on it. I think Jake Shields dishonors veterans. And he obviously feels that we're too stupid to understand what we fought for or what we got involved in. And that everything that the United States has ever done is for a giant war machine and to save a nickel on a gallon of gas. I think it discredits who we are. I think it's disrespectful to say, if you don't go ahead and send your children to die for Jews, you're not a patriot. Wink, wink. I don't think that's okay. I don't think it's okay to say that for Iraqis. I don't think it would have been okay if we would have said it for Kuwaitis when we went and defend Kuwait. I don't think it was okay for Bosnians or Serbians or Syrians. I don't think it was okay for the Vietnamese. I don't think it was okay for Indochina and Laos. I don't think it was okay in Afghanistan. I don't think it was okay for the Greeks. I think you have a very small, minute understanding of the world. And I think you tried to put me in your little bubble. Keep me out of your fucking bubble. It does have everything. You just defended Jake Shields, dude. You just defended him. You just said, Jake and I just have a different opinion. So you brought him into this conversation when I brought him up, that you remind me of him. And I must have been pretty spot on because you just owned him. You just put your claim on him. You went up and rubbed your dick all up and down him and peed on him. You claimed territory on Jake. Oh, yeah, I've never fought him, but, we know each other and I live next to him and, we shower with each other and he washes my ass. You're the one who claimed him. I don't care that you're a Muslim. You being a Muslim isn't your problem. You're a cock. That's your problem. So there you go. I think you're a groiper. I really do. I think you're a remnant from Nick Fuentes' crew. And I think, honestly, truly, that your heart's in the right place, but your mind is so far up your ass that there's very little hope for you. I would rather have you come out and just be like, I don't like Jews. Just say it. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it. So just say it. Just say it. It's okay. There's certain groups of people I don't like, and there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, you don't hate them. You don't want to see them die, but you don't like them. I don't know Nick. Did I say Nick Shields? Jake Shields? Whatever. Dude, it's been a long fucking week. I don't know what you're talking about. You don't know Nick Fuentes? You're not a groiper? You know what? Jake Shields is. And you stood up for Jake Shields. All right, man, you got enough of my attention. Don't talk anymore. Just shut the fuck up and leave me alone. I'm done with you. I've already got a wife. I don't need another one. Just stop kissing my ass, bro. Stop telling me all these wonderful things. And, don't pee on me and tell me it's raining. Oh, Matt, you're so this, you're so that. And then, oh, Matt's an entertainer. Matt doesn't know any Jews. He doesn't live near any Jews. He lives in an all-white neighborhood. That's not what I said. My neighbor is Native American. I've got a fucking Iranian right here. I've got a Greek Orthodox right here. I got a black family right here. The fuck are you talking about? You don't even know where I live. How do you know? How do you know who lives near me? You and Jake just need to go wash each other vigorously. All right, folks, we're going to kick over to Fox just for a few more. I'm going to look up any updates real quick. See what we got. Israel calls for an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. Ooh, this has just got interesting. Here it is. Let me pull this up. Thanks. I'm going to show a couple scenes from the play. 6 months after Hamas' brutal terror attack on October 7th, didn't I tell you this? Israel's not going to escalate. Israel just reached out to the UN Security Council. Convene a meeting of the Security Council immediately to unequivocally condemn Iran for these grave violations and immediately act to designate the IRGC as a terrorist. Oh, designate. Oh my God, I'm tired. I just said designate. God, stupid people frustrate me. It rubs off on me. It's just like, you sleep with dogs, you pick up fleas. Designate. So you got Israel that just released a UN Security Council request to designate the IRGC as a terrorist organization, condemn them globally, which Iran's not going to like. So the fact that Israel is doing that shows you their ultimate resolve in this. May not be full retaliation against Iran, that they might be working towards doing this politically with geopolitical and global pressure. As of right now, it looks like these drone strikes are done. You can see where these drone sightings were everywhere. Look at this. Look at them all right here. All up and down the coast or the border of Iraq. And it looks like they came right where I said. What did I say? I said they weren't going to come in central, in Jerusalem. That they would hit the Golan Heights. And that's what they did. Look at this. Very few. You've got some patrols here. You've got a couple of Iron Dome attacks, which are coming from Syrian side. But most of them came from the south. Oh, shit. You can't see this. Damn it, you guys. You're supposed to tell me that. Sorry. So if you take a look, most of them came from south, Golan Heights. North, hardly any. Nothing here in the center. Nothing. See this? All up in the northern areas, down south. Jordan hit a bunch here. Nothing. So that shows you that Iran isn't interested in escalating. Let's see what Fox says, and then we'll go. Folks, if you like what you've seen, like what you heard, except for the temper tantrum and me getting pissed off at one of my listeners who is a backstabbing little prick. Oh, wow. Look who said that. IDF report, majority of missiles launched were intercepted outside of Israel's border. Wow, who predicted that? Gosh, I guess all my time with those Jews didn't pay off, huh? I guess all my time in working in Intel didn't pay off, huh? Wow, was there anyone else who said that but me? That Jordan was going to intercept most of these things and it wasn't even going to reach Israel? Who said that? Who was that? Who was that guy? Oh, okay, that guy. All right. Pretty sure I called that. U.S. military shoots down as well. Here's an IDF.
Marcus is a connoisseur.
We'll mute this real quick. Israel's military says Iran has launched drones from its own territory. IDF spokesperson said it will take several hours for the aircraft to arrive. We know this. U.S. military has shot down dozens of Iranian drones headed towards Israel. So I don't know, man. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I got this one right. Now, even more so that Israel is calling for UN Security Council action, and they're not going to go ahead and retaliate. It would not be smart to retaliate when they're proposing UN Security Council to do anything to negate that. They obviously knew about the retaliation. They were prepared for it. Iran did it to posture and gain favor. Now this will go to the UN Security Council. They'll claim the IRGC is a terrorist organization globally. Israel will win on that. Iran gets to back off and save face, and now they can downscale this son of a bitch. Because it can't continue to escalate.
From Iranian soil towards the state of Israel. We are closely monitoring Iranian killer drones that are en route to Israel sent by Iran. This is a severe and dangerous escalation. Our defensive and offensive capabilities are at the highest level of readiness ahead of this large-scale attack from Iran. Together, with our partners, the Israel Defense Forces, is operating at full force to defend the state of Israel and the people of Israel. This is a mission that we are determined and ready to fulfill. I will keep on updating you. Thank you.
Well, I think it's pretty cut and dry. I think the attack is posturing, like I said. If anyone read chat, I said the same exact thing, that it was posturing. 3 minutes ago, Israel releases Israel's war cabinet will convene tomorrow. Sorry, I'm reading. That's an ICBM. Oh, not ICBM. It's a ballistic missile. See that? It's a ballistic missile. Redundancy. That was probably a trailer, like a Patriot, going after that. So there wasn't two that were sent back to back. Look at this explosion. That's much larger than this one. And this one just, yeah, those are back to backs. Yeah, those are two ballistic missiles that made their way through. So I would be very doubtful that we hear anyone was hurt from these. They just said most of them were shot down. Most of them were, God damn it, you can't see that. I'm sorry, I don't have Olivia here. Do you know how hard this is without my wife? I'm so sorry. So sorry. Son of a bitch. Hold on. Hold on. I'll get it back. I feel horrible. All right. I'll show you again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm tired. It's been a long week. All right. Everyone's like, God darn it, Matt. We can't see what the hell you're talking about. All right. So see this? That's a ballistic missile. You've got another one trailing it. See it right up there, top right-hand corner? See that? This one comes in. There's several. There's one that hits right before this one, and then bam. Look at that flash. Bam. And then one follows suit. Here it comes. Same spot. Redundancy. Boom, boom. Probably struck a desert. I'm sorry you couldn't see it. I know. I feel bad. I know. So there it is. I know you can't see, Scott. I'm sorry, buddy. It's been a long week, and I'm just, I'm mucking it up. All right, quick information, and then we'll call it good. I think that's enough. You guys got me for 2+ hours. Do me a favor. If you have not had a chance, you guys can donate to the dump. Oh, no, let me do this first. People want to see Hayden. She just got done with her third play. Her third. She did one last night. She did 2 today. And here she was the enchantress. She was a wolf. She was a Lafie. Oh my God, she's done everything. She was just all over the place. So here's a picture. Here, we'll just do it like this. Because everyone cares. They like my kids. That's okay, everybody. So here she is. And this is before she enchants puts the curse on the prince. Okay. And here she is at the end. She's in the blue dress. And of course, she's not supposed to look at me, but she does. And these are all the pictures. So here's this production was so good. God, it was entertaining. I don't know why it's not playing. Whatever. It's supposed to play. It's not playing. Let me see if I can find another one. But you can see the set design was incredible. And the singing, my gosh, they killed it. Let's see if I can.
I don't little thing like that's going to change your feelings for me.
Oh no, never.
Good. Well, if we're going to have a wedding, I guess I better go propose to the bride.
All right. So when I say it was good, I mean it was ridiculously good. Like the sets, the singing was just awesome. Here you go.
I have built for my wife. Make no mistake about that.
Madame Gaston, can't you just see it? Madame Gaston, his little wife. No, sir, no.
Dude, I want you to listen to her voice. This is the only singing she did. Most of her lines were speaking, and it was really a shame because she actually went to state. And she was like the only alto, it was my understanding, that's gotten to ranked from this school ever. And she was ranked like 51. But she's never taken any voice lessons. She can sing, man. She's got such a good voice. But you can hear her just a little bit, hear her range. And it's such a shame because she should have had a solo. They kind of overlooked her. And so they've taken care of her since that. They gave her like 7 roles. She was running around sweating her ass off. She had to do like 7 costume changes. And her curtain call, they gave her a special curtain call. And then they also, she gets to call the teacher out and give them kind of the last 8th grade class leaving speech, which is kind of a big honor. So just listen to this, her voice here. It's awesome.
Gaston, his little wife. No, sir, not her. I guarantee you, she wants much more than this provincial life. No, Gaston,
All right, so there's that. Oh, this is cool. I like showing you guys this stuff. This is cool. I mean, look at the sets. Listen, I mean, it's. These are middle schoolers, man, and they all can sing. This school does amazing production.
It's quick, as Gaston. No one's neck is incredibly thick, as Gaston.
for there's no man in town of the day.
Hi, Hayden.
You're not supposed to.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not doing it. Hold on. Nothing's happening.
You're not supposed to show those.
It was on your Instagram, you little shit.
My Instagram's private.
So's this.
No, it's not.
You got more roses.
If we get sued, I'm blaming you.
No, they're not going to sue me. I have better lawyers. I want to go tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm going to see it again. Did you have fun?
Yes.
Did you kill it?
Yes.
Everyone's so excited.
I signed like 7 kids' autographs, and so many kids like hugged me, and one of them called me the witch, and I cried because I'm not a witch. I'm an enchantress, but
You're kind of a witch. I'm just
these are from Tina.
I know they're beautiful. You got roses?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't have enough money to spend for roses on
And
you.
then
I'm glad that.
this is from a secret admirer. I don't know who.
It's not him because every single
No,
person
it's not him, but somebody.
Oh, you need to find out.
Every single
person.
I guarantee it's a teacher or something.
Oh.
Probably a teacher, but I don't know.
I love you. I'll be out in 5 minutes. I got to show you off to the non-public group again.
Yep.
The-
Non-public.
I got-
You're like the 400 people live right now.
There's a lot. It's not as much as it was. Now we got about 200 and something on. Okay, let me show this video. Get out of here. So I got Avs got.
I just saw
what was
7-0?
7-0. They're done. They're gonna first round and out. They're just broken. All right, get out of here. I want to show them this.
Wait, I'm gonna show you.
Oh, you want to see this? Okay, you're not gonna be able to hear it.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, here you go.
Perfect of the American.
Keep asking, topic or stand.
And they'll tell you whose team they prefer to be on. Stand like Gaston, a kingpin like Gaston.
No one's got a slow cleft on his chin like Gaston. As a specimen, yes, I'm intimidated.
My, what a guy that Gaston. You fight for rocks, you well.
I mean, do you hear the singing? These are middle schoolers, and this is like Olivia and I've done a couple off Broadway. I'll be honest with you, like I want to go tomorrow because it was so damn good. I mean, the production was insane good. All right, Hayden, I'll switch the damn camera so you can be on it. Ugh.
You should do the end scene.
I'm working on it. I can't do it if you don't let me play it. So just listen to the rest.
Gaston is the best and the rest is all tricks. No one fights like Gaston, does his legs like Gaston.
In a wrestling match, nobody fights like Gaston.
But there's no man as curly and grunny.
I can so hear you right there.
Not a bit of pig scrambly or scroungy. That's righty. And every last inch of me's covered with hair.
Your trip. There's the trip. There's the trip. You broke a leg. You did fine. Hold on, I gotta close it. Where's it at? Gotta reopen it. I don't know why it does that. Oh, man. Sorry, guys, gotta reopen it. People are actually staying around to watch this, so we're gonna keep playing it. Were you looking at me when I'm recording on purpose? Because I kept checking you. No? Okay.
I'm supposed to interact with the audience.
Oh, okay, because you did a great job. Don't give me that. I'm supposed to interact with the audience, even the peons like my parents.
No, you're not actually. You're supposed to interact with everybody but family members and people you know.
You did a great job.
Wearing boots like Gaston. I use adverse in all of my
Listen to this note. You guys, when that note stops, that's my daughter. And I just want to let you know, I'm not being the proud dad. Her voice is so strong, they have to tell her to lower it because she can project so far. But when it stops, you'll see she stops first, and then the sound that is carrying that high note is her. Listen. You see it? She's got some lungs, man.
Take off my mic after this scene because after that I don't have any more song solos or lines, and then tell me to take it off because my voice is so strong that.
Yeah, I know it's strong. That's a good picture of you.
Ugh.
That's a totally good picture of you.
Ugh.
Look at this. Here's the castle. Look at this.
Don't believe the prostitutions. They can sing, they can dance. I promise this is France, and the dinner years never second last. Go on and hold your man, you take a glance, and then you'll be our guest. We are guests, be our guest.
Leave dragons, chase and play, buy and putting on pomade.
We'll prepare and serve.
You guys gotta understand, this is one of the most prestigious middle schools in Virginia. They are incredibly talented from their choir to everything else.
Better than the high schools.
Yeah, they are. So the set design, everything was incredible. That's a good shot. Good job, Liv. Thank you. Watch this. This will blow you away. You guys, I only caught 20 seconds of it because I was so in effing awe at this performance right here. Because Be My Guest was incredible. Watch this. Dude, it was so good. I cannot wait to go tomorrow. I'm so serious. I can't freaking wait. This line was amazing, which I missed. There's Hayden, and when the transformation takes place, here's this. Here's her bow, so you guys get to see this. What a bow. That was pretty good. Dude, he was an amazing Gaston.
Oh my, he's 11 years old.
He killed it. And this guy did a great beast. She sounded just like Belle.
She's so good.
She's amazing.
Alexis is so amazing. You have no idea.
Anyway, that's it,
Can you
folks.
show them when I transition? The bees, like, if you're gonna show them, at least show them that.
Which one?
The one
very
where
beginning.
No, the very end. The very end when I turn them into humans.
I don't know if we recorded.
I don't think we got.
You recorded it.
Oh, we got it. The light guy screwed it up.
He did. I yelled at him.
I gotta close it.
He did. I yelled at him. I was like, better spot me.
This is an important. This was a very touching scene. I mean, I almost started crying in this scene because
You did cry.
I cried because of you, because it's been a rough couple of years, and I just love to have my little kid back. I was like, put the rose over. You guys, I'm not kidding. Totally better than Off-Broadway that I've seen. It was that every kid could sing. Every kid could dance. The sets, I mean, it's not just this set. I'll show you a couple of others real quick. But listen to that chick. She sounds just like Belle. Should have a projector behind you that's doing a bunch of glitter and stuff, and that's the next level stuff they need to do. Oh, they missed it. What was he doing? Gotta open it up again. I don't know why it's doing this. Probably because I'm streaming.
Anyway, it was really cool and
yes.
touching, and it made
my dad cried.
No, you made me cry.
Yeah, I made you.
You made me cry because you know why you made me cry. But anyway.
No, do not
all
show that one. Do not show
just
the
let me sit. Okay, get out of here. I'm done. I gotta sign off. I'll be out in 2 minutes. Love you guys. So, yeah, the set design was incredible. Even the beginning part was just unreal. But I mean, there were like 12, 13 different sets. I can't even begin to tell you how amazing it was. So I wouldn't say it unless it was. It was hands down one of the most entertaining couple of hours I've had. I've been to plays and I dread them. I hate going to that shit. This was incredible. Like, I don't even like the story that much, but the kids did an incredible job. Anyway, I'm out of here. Folks, do me a favor. If you have not had a chance, you can go to thedumbshow.com. You buy hats, you buy shirts, buy everything else. If you like what you saw tonight, do me a favor. Donations are what we go off of. Facebook has just deplatformed and demonetized us yet again. They took like 90% of our revenue. So everything we make now comes from t-shirt sales, a little advertisement, but predominantly donations and your support. If you've taken care of your mom, you've taken care of your dad, you've taken care of your husband, your wife, you've given money to a charity like 501c3 for veterans. You've done all those things and everything's comfortable and it's good. Maybe a couple coffees you don't pick up this week or something. But if you go to thedumbshow.com, you can donate directly to PayPal, and that goes right to us. 100% all that goes to the show. It goes to the family, and it keeps us going, keeps us moving. We appreciate it. We try not to ask for it all the time. We try to do it in the beginning, maybe a little bit in the middle. The wonderful support of the admins, Glenn is going to put it up right here. linktapgo.com/thedumbshow. You just go to PayPal or you go to tip, and you guys can help out The Dumb Show. We will see you on Monday. I will not be on tomorrow. There's no way in shape or form we're coming on unless obviously something bad happens. Believe in each other. Have some faith. Not everything's going to go wrong. Everything's going to be fine. And just take care of each other. Okay? See you guys. Be good. Appreciate you. Good night.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.